for a top 20 showdown in the college football world. The cadets are here, and they're ready to make some noise for their Army Black Knights. The Notre Dame Subway alums making their way to Yankee Stadium as their team has turned around their season. Both teams fighting for the college football playoff in a big-time matchup on NBC.
Tonight in New York City, we sweep the dust off a rivalry that once enthralled college football. Army and Notre Dame. 100 years ago this fall, the Fighting Irish backfield ran wild. Grantland Rice immortalized the moment. The Four Horsemen rode again. 4 years later, Notre Dame rallied to win one for the Gipper. Their annual showdown was cinematic. Their game was the game. It was never bigger than in 1946, when a post-war nation was wrapped as two unbeatens and four Heisman Trophy winners battled to a 0-0 tie in a packed Yankee Stadium.
The 74,000 fans saw the football battle of the century.
Then they drifted apart. Army slipped from the upper echelon of the sport and hasn't beaten Notre Dame since the late 1950s. Unequal rivals are not rivals at all. But today that changes. Back in Yankee Stadium, Notre Dame is 9-1.
Touchdown, Notre Dame!
Army is reborn and undefeated for Coach Jeff Monken.
Army 9-0 for the first time since 1996.
Who is as tough as West Point itself. Both are in the hunt for the college football playoff. So here we are, Army and Notre Dame. High stakes in the Bronx. A mythic yesterday meets a vital today.
We are set for an iconic venue hosting what could be an iconic matchup. Undefeated Army, very much in play for the college football playoff. 9-1 Notre Dame looking to do the same. Win out, get themselves in a top 20 showdown here at Yankee Stadium. A lot on the line in this game, a lot on the line for both teams. And so let's check in on the temperature on either side. Start on the Army dugout with Ahmed Fareed.
Hey, Noah, I think it's fair to ask if Army will be awestruck by the environment. Here you got a top 25 matchup. You got a primetime game on national television, but they play in big games. They play Navy every single year. And talking to Army head coach Jeff Monken, he told me, let's talk about overwhelming odds. Our U.S. military in the past, they have had to face some of those overwhelming odds. For us, we don't see it. It'll be 11 versus 11. We are not outnumbered in this. They are down a key piece on their defensive line. Senior defensive end Kyle Lewis is out with an injury. Could make stopping the run a little more difficult, but the story for Notre Dame could be the same. With them, let's get it over to Matt Castle.
Right, and Notre Dame also had an injury on their defensive front. Howard Cross, their big interior defensive lineman, will be out this week. It was already going to be a challenge going against the #1 rush offense in the nation with Army. It might get a little bit more difficult without him out there tonight. Marcus Freeman this week reminded his team, this is not Navy 2.0. When you look at this Army team, they're much bigger and more physical than the Navy team is. Marcus Freeman also told us that when you look at Navy, it is one of those situations where there might be more explosive, but this team for Army is definitely more aggressive and more powerful.
1,000%, and as always, a fantastic quarter zip from Matt Castle as we get set here from Yankee Stadium. Glad to have you along for the ride. Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley. You can see our entire crew is here for good reason. This is one of the great historical matchups in college football.
It really is. I mean, just think about it. I love the history of the game, right? Think about it. Red Blake, Newt Rockne, Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, the Four Horsemen, national champions, Heisman Trophy winners. Doesn't get any better than that. And you can't write a book about the history of college football without a significant amount of chapters about Army and Notre Dame.
And the Four Horsemen 100-year anniversary here this year. That's why we're playing this game at Yankee Stadium. And it's a great venue for what should be a great showdown. Two top 20 teams, two teams that truly believe they can be in the college football playoff.
Yeah, how cool is it that here we are in late November of 2024, these same two teams playing in their most significant game in decades, right? College football playoff implications still in place for both. Two very physical football teams, two teams also statistically two of the best defenses in all of college football. So I'm really looking forward to what I think is going to be an exciting matchup.
Physical game as we would expect here today. Jeff Monken loves physical play, and moments ago he spoke to KT.
Coach, you have said that players come to Army to play in games like this. Your team is nationally ranked, undefeated, and the stakes are very high tonight. What did you tell your team about playing in this atmosphere this evening?
Just try to play our game. We can't get caught up in all the extra stuff, the hype and the talk about playoffs and ranked teams. It doesn't matter. We got to execute, and we're going to try to do that the best we can.
Your quarterback, Bryson Daly, and this offense will face a different kind of challenge with this Notre Dame defense. What will be the key to having a successful evening on that side of the ball? We've
got to be able to run the football, and that's all there is to it. If we can't run the football, it'll be a difficult night for us. So hopefully we can establish that and get that going, and Bryson's certainly a big part of it.
Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Jeff Monken's exactly right. They have to run the football. That is their MO. They're the nation's #1 rushing offense. And their philosophy is, hey, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It's old school throwback football. And if they can do that, then they can play their game. They have to protect the ball, not turn it over, methodically move the ball down the field, control the clock, and limit the number of offensive possessions Notre Dame gets tonight.
They've done it all year, 9-0 for a reason. Moments away from kickoff as we get set from Yankee Stadium, Army and Notre Dame. Welcome to Notre Dame football, presented by Discover. 9-0 Army, 9-1 Notre Dame, number 19 versus number 6. From one of the iconic venues in all of sport, the cadets are here, locked and loaded, the fans filing in. Oh yeah, we know it's that time. Is it time to be lucky? One of these teams will feel that way by the end of the night in Top Blackledge. It should be a fantastic matchup, and quite honestly, a physical matchup. It feels like whoever's more physical today will win this game.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams want to run the football. They want to establish the run. For Army, that is their MO, the #1 running team in college football. But Notre Dame feels like they have a size advantage. I expect to see them in a lot of big personnel formations and really see if they can get their running game going as well.
We've seen Riley Leonard grow as a passer as the season has gone on within this offense. A new offense for him coming over from Duke. Mike Denbrock has trusted him. His weapons have trusted him. See Jeff Monken in the Army squad and being led out by Kyle Lewis, who will now play a captain on this team. out on that defensive line for the Black Knights. There he is, a great look, and someone they will certainly miss up front.
Yeah, one of the strongest guys on their team. Will really miss him in their run defense. And we're going to see two quarterbacks in this game, Noah, that both are excellent runners. Different styles, very much so. But two running quarterbacks that are big for their offensive production.
Not quite your general tunnel run out. Both teams will come out of their respective dugouts. These two coaches shared quite some time together pregame on the field, right around midfield. Clearly a mutual respect between Marcus Freeman and Jeff Monken as they get set to go to battle. Army putting their perfect record on the line, coming off a win in a bye week. Plenty of time to prepare for this game. As for Notre Dame, back-to-back victories after their own bye week over Florida State and Virginia put them in position. And with a win, each team will feel great about their opportunity for a college football playoff berth come the end of this regular season. But for now, we are all set as Marcus Freeman and his team make their way. And here come the Irish. Sporting their Shamrock Series uniforms in this year's Shamrock Series game back at Yankee Stadium. Army makes their way on the field. Energy ready, football just about ready. Let's send it down to KT.
Coach, the Shamrock Series game is always a special one on the Notre Dame calendar, but this one comes with the hype of two nationally ranked teams. What's the most important thing you want to see from your players at the start of this game?
Violence. That's what I told them in the locker room. It's going to be a violent affair, and we got to make sure we're the most violent team. And it's not going to be about playing football. I want our guys to be aggressive on all three phases, but play this game violently. That's what it's going to be about.
The game plan against the academies is always a little bit different. What does it look like tonight against Army?
Well, I think you can't play football. You have to be aggressive, especially against this offense. They're a power running team, so we got to be aggressive and attacking mindset. And on offense, we got to take care of the football and take what they give us. Like, let's take care of the football, play clean, and let's see what the results are.
Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Captain.
Seems pretty obvious. Marcus Freeman wants to take the battle to Army. He's not waiting for it. He's told his players to go out and get it. That's a tall task against an Army team led by that man, Bryson Daly, one of the most physical quarterbacks in the country, as we on kickoff next on NBC. Ready for kickoff at Yankee Stadium. 52nd all-time meeting. Notre Dame leads that series 39-8 and 4 ties. 15 straight Irish victories since 1965. First-ranked matchup in the series since 1958, which was an Army victory. 44 degrees, sounds nice, looks clear, but the winds gust up to 30 miles per hour, feels like 35, and down on the field, that could make a big difference.
Yeah, especially in the kicking game as we get ready for the opening kickoff, but particularly in punting and field goal kicking, that wind becomes a real factor.
Notre Dame won the toss, elected to defer. Eric Goins, who served 7 years active service in the Army, will kick it off for Notre Dame. Lloyd Benson will be back to return it for Army, and we're underway. 52nd meeting between these two teams. You see the wind already a factor. If that one will land at the 13-yard line, and Benson will disappear into the pile at around the 25. So this Army offense on the field first. A look at the starting lineup delivered by Papa John's. It's the #1 rushing offense in all of college football.
Yeah, and it's led by an offensive line that is outstanding. Their left tackle, Connor Finucane, is the guy who spearheads it. He's in his 5th year. They've got 4 out of their 5 starting offensive linemen are over 300 pounds. And Jeff Monken said it's the best offensive line that he's ever been around as a head football coach. And that's how this team makes their living, is running the football behind that group.
Those 2 left tackles certainly have the size, not what you're accustomed to seeing with the service academies, to battle with a Notre Dame defensive front. Bryson Daly gets planted on the first play of the game, picks up 2 yards, but Ausberry comes in and just lays the lumber.
Yeah, Jaden Ausberry is going to have a big role in this offense and our defense tonight, going against Bryson Daly. I mean, there are running quarterbacks, and then there are guys like Bryson Daly. I mean, his last game, 36 carries against North Texas. Didn't even know if he was going to play.
Right.
He had not practiced for 2 weeks, carried the ball 36 times, and he runs the football. Every time he carries it, it's like he's in a street fight.
He says he likes contact. He embraces it. He's going to get some here as he crosses the 30, but not much more. Wrapped up at the 31-yard line, and Notre Dame ready for this front attack for Army.
Well, Marcus Freeman told KT, we got to get across the line of scrimmage. We have to make plays on their side of the football, and that's exactly what they got on that play. Penetration from the backside. It slowed down Bryson Daly. Joshua Burnham was the guy with the first contact on the first 3rd down play of the game.
So 3rd and 5 here. Army wants to get 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, at minimum 4th and 1. Let's see how they go about their business here. Daly can throw it. Has 7 passing touchdowns on the year, but they like to run in these situations, and they will. There'll be Daly up the middle. Daly looking to get away. It sets up 4th down and 2.
Well, this is the first possession all season where they did not make it all the way down the field and score. Good first defensive possession for Notre Dame. Jack Kaiser stopping Bryson Daly short. Again, this is a very athletic Notre Dame defense, and they're facing a different offense than they're used to playing, but they've got guys that can really run to the football, and excellent first 3 downs for the Fighting Irish defense.
So, as Todd mentioned, first non-scoring opening drive. It will be a punt, as Wagenseller will send it away, and Hurleman will return it for Notre Dame. The shimmy shake to the 30, lost the football, and Notre Dame is right there to jump on it.
Turnovers are going to be a factor in this ball game as that first ball came loose. I mean, you've got a team in Army that protects it as well as anybody in the country. Only 3 turnovers. Notre Dame takes it away as well as anybody in the country, and may have been down already before the ball came out, but turnovers, turnover margin, red zone offense and defense are going to be critical in this football game tonight.
So sends out Riley Leonard in this Notre Dame offense that put up 35 points in the win over Virginia last week on Senior Day. Jeremiah Love had a big day. 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, including one that went 76 yards to the house. And he's out there on first down. He will get the first touch of the game and explode up the middle for 12.
Now, they were concerned about the acceleration of the backs and the quarterback. They've been an outstanding run defense, Army, but they've not faced backs with this kind of acceleration. And first carry of the game, Jeremiah Love with a big game.
Love said he felt so much better about the way he prepared last week for the game against UVA, showed off in the box score. Leonard's first throw is a catch right at midfield. It'll be a gain of about 5 to Collins. And a look at the starting lineups delivered by Papa John's for a Notre Dame offense that has seemingly gotten better as the season's gone on.
Yeah, they've really worked the last several weeks to catch their passing game up to their running game. Jeremiah Love has had an outstanding season, and we'll see him. We'll also see Jadarian Price share the load in the backfield, but Love the go-to guy.
He stays in there on 2nd down and 5. Play action, and the rifle to the outside. Greathouse, who left the game last week, will get it across the 40. And a Notre Dame offense starting to percolate on their first possession.
Well, just a little RPO. The line is blocking run. Nice arm angle by Riley Leonard, and an accurate throw. And I mentioned they've been trying to catch their passing game up. Offensive coordinator Mike Denbrock, they had 33 passes a week ago against Virginia, and I think he's just trying to get Riley Leonard more and more comfortable in that part of their offense.
The relationship between those two, the first-year offensive coordinator with his transfer quarterback, has grown with the season. Here's another positive run up the middle and gains 9 for Love as Larkin comes from the backhand and chops him down. For Riley Leonard, 12 touchdowns on the air, 13 on the ground, tied for 4th in FBS among quarterbacks through week 12. But he's one of just 4 FBS quarterbacks with 12 in each category so far this season.
And they're approaching that area of the field, the red zone. We talked about how important for both teams, and Riley Leonard's ability to run and extend plays is what makes Notre Dame so dangerous in the red area.
It's Leonard, deep drop. Leonard rifles. It's caught. Touchdown. Jordan Faison finds the soft spot in the defense. A 28-yard strike for the Irish.
Nate Woody, the defensive coordinator of Army, is not a big blitz guy. They play mostly zone, but he's going to bring pressure here. And the Notre Dame offensive line is going to pick everything up. That means man-to-man coverage with no free safety help. And Riley Leonard finds the matchup and gets the football to the right guy for a touchdown. The blitz was picked up. The route was beautiful. And the throw was on time.
Working on Jaden Mays, who's been battling a foot injury for most of the season. And now Mitch Jeter at Yankee Stadium will make it 7-0. 5 plays, 68 yards, 2 minutes and 11 seconds later, after the 3-and-out force from the defense, the offense marches right down the field, and it's all Irish early in this first quarter.
Back at Yankee Stadium. Quick start for Riley Leonard. 3 of 3, couple short completions, accuracy, good decision making, and then the touchdown throw. Solid footwork, delivers it on time. He had the one-on-one matchup, and the more he plays in this offense, the more comfortable he becomes. And Notre Dame, I think they know they can run the football. They've got the backs, they've got the line. And as he develops and as he continues to improve, that makes this offense that much more dangerous.
He's talked about his growing relationship with his receivers. Certainly his tight end, Mitchell Evans, the last 2 games has started to look like the player of old pre-injury with back-to-back games with a touchdown. As Army will have their second look offensively, Goins will send it away, and Benson will call for the fair catch inside the 10. Get tickets now for the most magical event of the year. Wicked, rated PG in theaters now. Don't miss the spectacular cinematic event. Todd, I know that you're all locked and loaded.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. I'm there.
I look forward to your review. Yeah, I'm excited for a full review. Meanwhile, excited to see how this Army offense will respond here. They did trail 3-0. That was the first time they trailed last week, or 2 weeks ago, really, against North Texas, their last game. Largest deficit of the season now.
And that was only their 11th 3-and-out of the entire season as well. So they've got to try to get their run game established here.
Udo and Robinson are the 2 running backs in there, along with Bryson Daly under center.
Late shift by the Notre Dame defense.
They will take their time in snapping the football. Pitch it. It's Robinson looking to get to the perimeter. He won't. There's that violence that their head coach was looking for. Marcus Freeman pleaded from his team, and he's gotten it so far defensively.
Well, to stop perimeter runs, you have to get off blocks outside. That's exactly what they did on the corner position right there. Get off the block and make a tackle on the Army side of the line of scrimmage. And right away, a loss of yardage player, a gain of 0. Marcus Freeman's defense is doing exactly what they wanted to do. Take the fight to Army and take the game to the other side of the line of scrimmage.
That was great pursuit from the cornerback spot by Christian Gray. Now 2nd down and 9. First throw of the day. Daly can do this. He slips down there. His knee may have touched. Doesn't matter. Tui Alamaka comes in on the sack.
Well, it was Riley Mills first, who's just been a terror, especially without Howard Cross in the lineup. Riley Mills is the first guy. Watch Big Riley right here, right over the center. The center is a young guy, a sophomore, and Riley Mills, a powerful man, forces Daly to try to step up in the pocket. And then he slips, trying to move up.
And this is the exact situation that Army said they had to avoid. 3rd and long, now 3rd down and 12. It's a handoff up the middle, and just get it past the 25-yard line. Gains maybe 3.5 for Kanye Udo.
Well, Jeff Monken told KT before the game, if we can't run the ball, we're going to have a hard time. We're going to have a long night. And they have not been able to establish their run game. And they've got a punt for the 2nd possession in a row. They've only punted coming into the game 18 times, the fewest of any team in college football. But they have not played a team like Notre Dame. They've not played a defensive football team like this Notre Dame team. And Al Golden's group over the last 7 or 8 weeks has played as well as anybody in college football.
Todd, you mentioned it, 10 3-and-outs coming in, already 2 on the first 2 possessions. Now blocked. Notre Dame came in. Big special teams play. Scooped up and out of bounds. Ron Hurd II found the loose ball, nearly housed it, and who else but Bryce Young to come in and knock it free.
Bryce Young with a couple field goal blocks already this season. The freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Marcus Freeman said we have to win the punt game. He's got great length, and he just leaps over the front wall and is able to get a little bobble on the snap. That disrupted the timing, and Bryce Young there to get a piece of the football. And this could not have started any worse for Army.
Jeff Monken said that we have to win the punt battle and the kicking battle. Said special teams is the one area that they might have an advantage in this game. Instead, it has gone heavily in Notre Dame's favor, and look at what the true freshman from Charlotte has done so far. They love this kid. They gush about his future, and he shows it with his special teams special plays. 1st and goal, it's Leonard up the middle. dragged down at the 6. Leonard with the 13 rushing touchdowns leads the team. Jeremiah Love has 12 touchdowns on the season, including 10 straight games with a score. You see the red zone percentage. Army's red zone defense has been stingy this season, but Notre Dame just operating at such a high level, especially during this 8-game winning streak.
Well, and again, when they're in this part of the field, the running ability of Riley Leonard just gives them so many ways to attack a defense, and that's why their touchdown percentage is so high in the red zone.
Aeneas Williams is the running back. It's going to be Leonard again, following his blockers, and well played by this Army defense.
Coming into the game, Notre Dame's offense, 77% scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Army's defense, 40% keeping people out, one of the best in the country, and 2 good plays in a row, bottling things up right at the line of scrimmage. This is almost a must-stop situation for Army right here.
Field goal would be a massive victory as the Knights have come out, and it has been tough sledding in the first half of this opening quarter.
And this is where you got to keep an eye on Mitchell Evans now here in this part of the field, the big tight end.
Leonard, swing it, Love to the outside, Love to the end zone, spectacular Notre Dame touchdown. Love from above, and the Irish take a 2-score lead.
Wow. Well, watch this play now. You might say, wasn't this offensive pass interference? Didn't somebody block before the ball was caught? But because the ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage or right at it, that other receiver is able to go ahead downfield and make a block. He picked off the man that was responsible for Jeremiah Love, and they got the easy touchdown. Well executed on that 3rd down play.
Jeter's extra point makes it 14-0, but this was all catalyzed by the special teams play of the Notre Dame unit. Bryce Young's 3rd block kick of the season sets up Jeremiah Love showing off at Yankee Stadium, and the Irish rolling.
Jordan Cornette with your game break. Boise State, Wyoming. Cowboys leading 3-zip until Heisman contender Ashton Jeanty breaks this 61-yarder. He gone. Broncos lead 7-3, Noah.
Yeah, Jordan, he most certainly was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone a lot. That's, what, 27 touchdowns now on the season for Jeanty. He's leading Bryson Daly, who's got 21 at the quarterback position. But how about that young man, Jeremiah Love, who's got 10 straight games with a rushing touchdown, and that one a receiving touchdown to put his team up 2 scores.
That's the part of his game he's really worked at, becoming a better receiver out of the backfield. Showed it on that play.
Goins' kick will be fielded at the 2 with a fair catch from Benson.
So let's look at the replay of this touchdown again. Now the blue line is the line of scrimmage. So because this ball is going to be thrown to Love behind the line of scrimmage, Jaden Thomas, number 83, is able to block, which he does. And he cuts off the defender from the inside that was responsible for the back coming out of the backfield. Just a very well executed play down in the red zone by Notre Dame. And again, another touchdown in that part of the field. Something they've been extremely good at this year.
And did you see Thomas's response?
Yeah.
It's fitting. With Gladiator 2 now out, he said, "Are you not entertained by that block?" First down from the 25 for Army. Daly will run up the middle, and there's the type of first down run we're accustomed to seeing from this Army offense.
Yeah, prior to that play, only 10 yards rushing on 6 carries. They came into the game averaging over 6 yards a rush. And it's not going to change what they do. I mean, they've got to stick to who they are and their identity, and a lot of that is their quarterback running the football. There's Cody Worley, the offensive coordinator, his first year in that role. He's been on the staff for 5 years as the quarterback coach.
Love the quote that he had, Jeff Monken relayed to us as Daly sets his blocking up, and will have the first down, just pounding his way across the 30, or make it the 35. He said, if you're not better, you have to be different.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Army is. They pride themselves in how different they can be.
Yeah, last year they tried to change their offense a little bit and try to become more of a shotgun passing offense, and it didn't really work. And this year they kind of went back to their original identity, a lot more under the center, a lot more option, power running. And it's definitely paid dividends. And that was an important first down right there for this offense.
First down of the game, as they will now operate out of the gun. And a handoff for Kanye Udo. Came in with nearly 900 yards as he breaks away from the pack and crosses the 40-yard line out of bounds. That's a tough run for the sophomore from New Jersey. And a flag is down. So we'll hear from Mike Roche for the first time today.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, you can see the head turn. I don't know. Looks like his thumb is on it. His hand is on the collar, but his thumb is on the face mask.
So Osbury will be called for it, and it tacks on the extra yardage. Look at where Army's situated here. Now at the Notre Dame 42-yard line. Udo and Robinson stay in there. Robinson back from injury, playing healthy again, along with his quarterback Daly, missing that Air Force game a couple weeks ago. And the pitch does go to Robinson. He's got speed on the outside and dragged down inside the 40 at the 38.
Again, this is option football, right? So you're going to fake inside, and then you're going to have to quickly pitch that ball because they're crashing from the outside. And again, the acceleration and the speed of this Notre Dame defense, those decisions have to happen immediately. And again, it's Jaden Osbury, number 4, who is playing a significant role against this Army offense. Has not been a starter, has been rotated. They've got 5 linebackers. They rotate. They're all impactful. Osbury with a much bigger role in the plan tonight.
Second down and 6. Handoff up the middle, and Udo will take it to the 35. Set up 3rd and short. The cadets in the building, getting ready for a couple weeks from now where You've got the Army-Navy game. They are going to play in the American Conference Championship game as well. So extra games for Army leading into that one. Navy only has one game between now and then. And that is the biggest game on their schedule every single season. I know that this one has major implications in terms of college football playoff, but Ahmed talked a little bit about it. And Jeff Monken made it clear. It says beat Navy all across that campus, as Daly's going to come up about a half-yard shy. They will 1,000% go for this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they want to do. They went unbalanced, so they took the left tackle and moved him over to the right side of the formation. They try to outflank you. They try to get more bodies at the point of attack than you have defenders. And that time Notre Dame was up for it on that 3rd down and short.
16 of 19 gives you that 84% on 4th down this year, because a lot of those are like this, 4th down and less than a yard.
Unbalanced again to the right. The tackle is over on the right side.
And movement.
Yeah, that's going to go against Notre Dame. I don't think he was drawn off at all. There was motion by the wing back, but nobody up front moved.
Army on the season has 38 penalties total.
Offside. Defense number 1 causing the offense to react. The 5-yard penalty results in the 1st down.
Jordan Clark.
See the motion by Noah Swift. Or Noah Short.
That should have been Sneed.
Yeah.
Jalen Sneed, number 3. They even can't see the numbers down.
Yeah.
So they'll move the All-State 1st down line for us. And a fresh set of downs for Army.
Well, the other thing about this drive, and this is vintage Army football, is it's allowing that defense that has not had any answers so far get a little rest and maybe make some changes on the sides.
They will take their time. Play clock all the way down to 1. They're not going to get it off. And Monken took the timeout. They're known to take extra time.
Yeah.
There is no foul for delay a game on the play. Army takes its 1st time out of the half.
So Jeff Monken showing off the wheels to get there in time to take his 1st time out of this 1st half. Just under 2 to play in the 1st quarter. Peacock's new thriller follows an elusive assassin who goes from hunting to becoming the hunted. The Day of the Jackal, streaming now, only on Peacock. Look at the United cam here at Yankee Stadium. The Irish most definitely in the building. Now with a 14-0 lead. Army takes the timeout to avoid the 5 yards for the delay of game.
And look at this formation, very different formation. Remember, Army had a week off to prepare their game plan. Different looking set than they've shown.
Put Udo in motion. Daly, patient, trying to get to the outside. He will. And Daly across the 25.
See, by formation, they put 3 guys out to the wide side of the field, hoping Notre Dame would move, and then they're going to fake this way and bring the counter back the other way. One of their plays they really like. Really, Jalen Sneed did a nice job. Watch number 3 take on 1 block and just destroy 1 block. But the strength of Bryson Daly able to still make it a positive game.
When asked about Bryson Daly, and this was as telling as it comes so far in this first quarter, that 5:48 that they trailed through week 12 was in their last game.
Yep.
They came right back down the field after giving up a field goal and scored a touchdown against North Texas, and then won that game 14-3. As this is a handoff, simple up the middle for Udo, who goes over the top. They'll be close to a first down. Looks like that he got enough to move the sticks. When you ask the coaches about Bryson Daly, they say, forget quarterback, forget linebacker, what he could have played potentially. He's a football player.
And he's a coach's son. And I thought it was interesting, Jeff Monken said there's a difference between a guy who grew up as a coach's kid and a guy who grew up just playing a lot of football.
Right.
And a valued team. They understand putting the team first. And this kid is smart and as tough as they come.
A lot of motion. He'll look to throw it. First pass of the day. Instead, he's going to have to get away. Tui Alamaka was there along with a host of Irish and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
See, when they call play action pass, they're hoping that the defense really overcommits to the run, and they got somebody running free. Notre Dame didn't bite. They covered up all the potential receivers, and they forced him to run the football. That's just good discipline by the Notre Dame defense. That was only the 2nd pass attempt of the game for Army, and it didn't fool Notre Dame at all.
They've dropped back twice. Neither of them have resulted in an actual throw. And through the first quarter, it's all Irish. 14 up for Notre Dame as Army threatening as we begin the second on NBC.
Jordan Cornette with your game break. Aggies, Tigers. Auburn's first drive goes 10 plays, 65 yards. It's punctuated with a Jarquez Hunter 2-yard payday. Tigers lead 7-0, Noah.
All right, JC, big one in the SEC there. Just down the street from Statue of Liberty. Aerial coverage brought to you by the Lincoln Wish List Sales Event. Captain America looking to lead his team into the end zone for the first time today. That's the nickname for Bryson Daly, and probably rightfully so. 132.8 rush yards per game, 5th among all players, not just quarterbacks, all players in the country. He's got 7 straight games with over 100 yards on the ground, 4th longest active streak among active players. And the 21 rushing touchdowns should speak for themselves. Coming into the week, trailed only Ashton Genty in the country. That is remarkable production at the quarterback position from Bryson Daly, and why he's named Captain America.
And he missed one game, did not play in the Air Force game. So he only played in 8 games. And so far, Notre Dame has done a good job containing him. Only 25 yards rushing. But at 9 carries in the first quarter, he's right on pace for where he was his last game when he carried it 36 times.
Well, Daly, like 28 of his teammates, comes from the state of Texas. He knows about big-time football and big-time atmospheres in front of big-time crowds. Hayden Reed, the man in motion. 10th play of the drive is a 2nd and 9 run. It's Daly up the middle, and he's tough to bring down, dragging tacklers with him. He'll set up 3rd and inches.
Well, again, very patient. That's one thing he really does show. I mean, this is a design quarterback run all the way. And he's just patient to allow blocks to set up. And then once he gets going through the hole at 220 pounds, he is not easy to tackle. He loves contact. He is a full contact quarterback. That's what he is.
21 rushing touchdowns on the season. 9 for Kanye Udo. They've accounted for 30. They're in the backfield here. It will be Daly. On 3rd and short, he stopped in the backfield. A flag is down as Osbury got penetration.
Well, an Army player's helmet came off. If I had to guess, this might be hands to the face against Notre Dame, because the play was stopped, and Notre Dame stopped Daly short. But there it is, right in the middle of the screen.
Use of hands to the face defense, number 99. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. Number 65 will remain in the game. His helmet came off as a result of the foul.
You know, penalties were a little bit of a problem for Notre Dame last week against Virginia. I mean, they had a kind of a sloppy start to the game because of penalties, and that's a critical one there because they had a nice stop on 3rd down.
So now Marcus Freeman and his defensive unit backed up, 1st and goal inside the 5 for Army on what is clearly their best drive of the night.
Look at all the bodies on that side of the formation. They try to outflank you. Look at another blocker as well.
Daly up the middle, spins his way to the goal line. Touchdown, Army. Methodical and effective down the field.
And it's just amazing how many blockers they get to the point of attack. I mean, it's like rugby or single wing football, and Bryson Daly is going to see a little crease and cuts it back inside, and then again shows his strength. Excellent response by the Army offense to come down and get one in the end zone. Helped by the penalty on Riley Mills.
And you can see the way he's pumping the rest of his guys up along the way. It was an anemic start, their first 2 drives. 2 3-and-outs. They had 10 all season. And now the extra point. Granati will make it 14-7. 22nd rushing touchdown of the season for Bryson Daly. He had 2 in the previous game on 36 carries against North Texas, and he gets his Black Knights on the board. 14-7. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. And by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once. Well, we talked about how much this matchup means historically in college football. 1928, Notre Dame win one for the Gipper, a classic, won at 12-6. Then in 1946, a 0-0 tie, game of the century at Yankee Stadium. 1969, the last meeting at Old Yankee Stadium, they won 45-0. And then the first football game here at the new Yankee Stadium in 2010, Notre Dame with a 27-3 victory.
I think that 1946 game that was 0-0, both teams came in averaging 30 points a game.
Yeah, remarkable. And to be named the game of the century and be 0-0. Think about how great the action had to be back and forth as Granati will send that in the end zone for a touchback. First couple of drives, 6 plays, 2 3-and-outs. Last one goes 12 plays down the field.
Well, let's look at the touchdown. This look from above brought to you by Walmart. I want you to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to come in motion 6, and he's going to be a lead blocker as well. 7 guys at the point of attack to lead for the quarterback. Now, Bryson Daly doesn't wait for the fullback. He sees a crease, so he cuts it inside. But when we talked to Marcus Freeman, he said, we have to get mass to the point of attack because of how they run the football. That time, Army had more mass than Notre Dame had at the point of attack.
Mass and violence have been the key words. Price with his first handoff and carry of the day. It'll go for 4 yards to the 29-yard line.
But a long rest for that Army defense, and we'll see now if Nate Woody, defensive coordinator, has any other things that they can try to do to slow Notre Dame down. Again, the absence of Kyle Lewis is a big loss for them. They're kind of mixing and matching. Dre Miller, number 97, is now in there at that left defensive end position.
Eli Raritan, the tight end, in motion on 2nd down and 6. It's Leonard to the air, slings it wide open, and the catch made by Jaden Harrison, who had a nice day last week with a touchdown against Virginia for a first down here, 14 yards.
A nice little route, reading zone coverage, sitting right down, giving a good target for his quarterback, and then good protection as well. Riley Lewis Leonard able to be comfortable in the pocket and deliver another strike.
5 for 5 start for Leonard. The 2 touchdowns, 2 different looking plays, and now 6 for 6 to start this game, as this one's going to go for another 15 yards on the pickup. So first 4 games for Riley Leonard, 147 yards per game, 1 touchdown, 6 rushing touchdowns. Since then, the passing, to your point, has caught up to the running, especially for the quarterback.
Yeah, more attempts and just more productivity and more comfort for the quarterback. Those last 2 throws against zone coverage just can't do it any better. Reads it, receivers read it on the same page with the quarterback, and they're across the 50.
How can Army find a way to make a play defensively? Not here. Another dashing run up the middle, and Jadarian Price gets chopped in between 2 defenders. Chance Keith and Casey Larkin combine on a stop after a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, watch the left guard get off the double team and get to the next level. Pick up the linebacker. The 2 inside linebackers are the leading tacklers on this Army defense. And that time, Billy Shrout, the left guard, did a beautiful job of getting to the next level.
Price stays in there. Love had the receiving touchdown. 2nd score of the day for the Irish. Play action. Leonard, perfect on the day so far. This time he'll tuck and run up the middle. Leonard stays on his feet and will go down across the 20 in the red zone. We check in with Jordan Cornette.
Auburn leading Texas A&M 7-0 early. Check it out. Peyton Thorne airs this one out. 63 yards on the receiving end. Cam Coleman. Tigers build the early 2-score cushion, Noah.
A lot of college football playoff implications around the country today. We saw a couple of losses to teams that are currently inside that top 12. These 2 teams battling, and with a win, keep themselves very much in the picture heading into the final week of the regular season. First down and 10. It's Price. Makes a cut. Price still on his feet. 1st and goal.
Just brute force up front. Again, the left guard, Billy Shrout. Watch number 74 just open up the hole on the left side. And just north and south running by both of these Notre Dame backs.
Notre Dame came in averaging 216.7 yards per game on the ground, which is 12th best in the country.
Yeah.
You're just going up against a team that has the most rushing yards per game. But Price has done it all drive with 30 yards on 3 carries. Let's see if he can pay it off. It is Price up the middle, 2nd and goal.
And Army came into the game giving up only 83 yards a game on the ground. But again, this is a different challenge, a different offense, a different type of offensive line, backs with different acceleration, and a quarterback who is also a running threat. And you can see tonight just a little bit different going against this highly ranked and highly regarded Notre Dame team.
So it'll still be Price, 2nd and goal with Thomas in motion. And it's Leonard going right through the teeth of the defense, and he gets slammed down at the line of scrimmage. Tried to challenge at the point of attack, and the entire Army defense felt like they were in the right spot.
Yeah, Army did a nice job of clogging things up in the middle, and really Leonard left his feet and not able to get near the goal line.
So now 3rd down and goal. Got it around the 2.
I got to believe Marcus Freeman and Mike Denbrock are thinking 4-down territory here as well, just because of how well they've moved the football to this point in the game.
There was an equipment malfunction, but they don't call the timeout. They do get the play off. It's going to be a run up the middle. It's going to be short. Army defensively with a nice stand.
You know, if you're not thinking 2-down territory, maybe you throw on that 3rd down play. If you're thinking 2 downs, running it on 3rd down makes sense. And now they're a little bit closer. And again, you've got to defend not only the backs, you got to defend Riley Leonard as a runner as well. Big play, all the Army sideline moving down to get a better view.
Thomas in motion on 4th and goal. Love back in the backfield. Handoff, Love stopped. Army with a stand at the goal line. Jaden Mays comes in to make the play.
Jaden Mays coming from the corner, perfect angle to the football. And Marcus Freeman's team has turned away.
Critics are calling St. Dennis Medical America's new favorite comedy. Don't miss a new episode of the hit show St. Dennis Medical Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Well, Jaden Mays made the tackle from the backside, but watch this guy right here. Safety Casey Larkin blow the play up on the front side. Gets in, takes on the block. That just causes a little bit of a delay by Jeremiah Love. And then from the other side, Jaden Mays gets the tackle. But Casey Larkin, one of the key defenders on this Army team, had a huge play right there.
We asked Bryson Daly about the offense. He said, our culture, we love it when we're backed up deep in our own territory. It gives us a chance to really get deep into the heads of our defensive opponent. As Udo's going to have the carry. He's got to get out of the end zone, and he does. Just enough. Drake Bowen, the linebacker, came in from behind as Udo tried to bounce it.
I think it's Riley Mills in the middle of this defense. It just is immovable. And he forces Udo to bounce it out, and lucky to get that ball back out of the end zone. Well, in Army's last game, they had a 94-yard drive that took over 13 minutes. It started on their own 6-yard line. It really kind of was the definition of that game, but this is a much different deal going against Notre Dame.
That was a 21-play drive. Now they got a little bit more breathing room across the 5. Daly keeps the legs churning, finally whistle dead at the 6. So it'll set up 3rd down and maybe 5. So 21 plays, nearly 14 minutes, 94 yards. It was 7-3 when they took over. 1 pass play, 20 runs, and eventually a 2-yard touchdown from their quarterback, Bryson Daly.
Yeah. And the 1 pass was a critical pass and conversion on a 3rd down and 6, but it wasn't in this part of the field. It was out by midfield. I wonder if Jeff Monken feels comfortable throwing the football here.
Still not a pass attempt. They've tried to throw it, but have not actually let it fly yet. Noah Short, the man in motion. They'll throw it to him on the outside. He's shot down. Going down low with a quick beat, Adon Schuler.
Don Schuler, one of the safeties on this defense, just reacting and triggering quickly. He sees it, he comes off the corner, and a solid tackle out on the perimeter.
Sophomore from Irvington, New Jersey, not far from here in the Bronx. Making the play, going down. 3rd 3 and out for this Army offense. They have attempted a number of fakes on their special teams this year, not this time, and Wagenseller gets this one away cleanly. Fair catch called for on a very short punt. Hurleman will bring it in at the 41-yard line of Army. Notre Dame in position when we come back.
13-7 Notre Dame. Time now for a look from above, brought to you by Walmart. It's the running backs of Notre Dame, and we talked about how they accelerate, how explosive both of them are. Jeremiah Love running it and catching it. Jadarian Price comes in. He's got that burst, and they have been too much for the Army team to handle other than that stop at the goal line on that 4th and 1. But other than that play, Notre Dame's running backs have had a nice ball game so far.
You're expecting a sellout here at Yankee Stadium. It has filed in nicely. Large crowd for this Shamrock Series matchup. And now Notre Dame looking to regain a 2-score lead, and this will help. Jeremiah Love shows off the speed, spun down in the red zone.
Well, just really worked by the offensive line getting to the second level. Jeremiah Love is not even touched until he's well beyond the line of scrimmage. Still hasn't been touched. Doesn't get touched till he's about 15 yards downfield. That's excellent work by this Notre Dame offensive line at the point of attack.
Gains 21 on the ground. Love now with 42 yards on 4 carries. And the receiving touchdown from 6 yards out. Evans the motion man on 1st down. Handoff, stutter step, and a trip up across the 15 as we check in with KT.
Well, I asked Notre Dame tight end Mitchell Evans if anything changed this week with the team's approach to Army. He told me even with how they manage the clock on the offensive side of the ball, we won't be changing our tempo. This is their Super Bowl. They're going to hit us with everything they've got. But to be honest, we've got better athletes than them. They're tough, gritty players. They have a good scheme, but I think we outmatch them personnel-wise.
Oh, they've brought the physicality so far tonight, KT, and the personnel has been showcasing exactly what they were hoping to. Bryson Daly and this Army offense had the one excellent drive, but other than that, 3 and outs, and now this Notre Dame offense looking to capitalize. With another handoff, with a big hole, Jeremiah Love, touchdown, Notre Dame. 11th straight game with a rushing touchdown for Love.
Just excellent blocking. Watch, the center is going to take care of the nose. These two guys are going to come off on a double team and then get to the linebacker. And another easy run for Jeremiah Love. Not even touched till he gets past the goal line. Excellent work up front, and Jeremiah Love running with confidence.
Jeter's extra point sneaks in there, and it's 21-7 Irish. Well, Love already had the receiving touchdown coming off his best game of the season last week against Virginia, and he's putting it on Army right now. 2 touchdowns on the day. Notre Dame up 2 scores. Time now for Above the Rest, brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. And Jeremiah Love is exactly that now. Tied a program record, 11 straight games with a rushing touchdown. It's a record that has stood for, what would that be? My quick math in my head would tell me 50 years. Is that correct? 74 to 24? 50 years? That's a long time.
It is. It is.
Jeremiah Love now 62 yards on the ground, the 6-yard touchdown reception, 2 total scores, and he's talked about just his overall football knowledge improving so far this season. Says he knows when to go down, when to fight for extra yards, when to really attack, when to be patient, and we've seen it all on full display as Benson brings in the fair catch at the goal line. Don't miss the 2025 Navy All-American Bowl, January 11th on NBC and Peacock. I mean, the 25-year history of this game is quite honestly unparalleled. It's featured 594 NFL draft picks, 18 Heisman finalists, elite action on the field. We'll have all that action on NBC and Peacock. All right, Army now down 21-7. They were down 14-0 in this game as well. You've got 4:35, but remember, Notre Dame's going to get the football to start the second half. This is a massive, a monumental, if you will, drive for this offense.
And Notre Dame has done a really good job slowing this running game down. Only 66 yards rushing. The longest play of the game, 8 yards so far for Army.
Now they're going to pitch it. Noah short, trying to get to the outside. He's going backward. Now back forward and might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. He gets decked out of bounds. Bowen and Kaiser both in the area for the Irish.
Again, Army is looking for something, some kind of a spark, some kind of a new wrinkle. But good defense, good. Joshua Burnham, number 40, stayed at home. He didn't get the tackle, but he forced Noah Short to really bounce this out wide and came up with a loss of 1 on the play.
So you saw all the linebackers there. Osbury was the one who eventually shoved him out of bounds. 2nd down and 11, and again behind schedule. Daly the fake, Daly the pitch, and this one some more room for Short. Nope, it came away immediately. Christian Gray again with a bolt to the ball carrier.
Well, Christian Gray is going to beat the block of the wide receiver. These wide receivers are excellent blockers on the perimeter, but he whips the block and makes the play. It looked like they were going to gain some yards, but he beats the block. Look how quickly he destroys the block. And that's Liam Fortner, number 4, is one of their best blockers on the perimeter. And he got whipped on that play.
Notre Dame still with all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. They now have this Army offense in a 3rd down and 12. Daly's 1 for 1, but his completion went for 2 yards. He'll need more here. Daly over the middle. It's caught in stride. It's going to be a 1st down. Hayden Reed with a big pickup and a flag down. Flag is down at the 15-yard line, and this Army offense looks like they're moving back.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 51 and number 6. 15-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Yeah, Brady Small, the center. He's right here, and you're going to see the running back, Udo, try to help out on the blitzing linebacker. I don't know.
That's a tough one.
Looked like hip level, going down to the ground, and that wipes out. We've seen that before, right? We saw that Wisconsin. A chop block that was called that wiped out a 3rd down conversion in a critical part of the football game, and that one wipes out 1 for Army as well.
That was an absolute killer last week for the Badgers. This one could be the same, as it's going to set up now 3rd and 23 with a couple of fakes. Daly will let it rip. Incomplete. He had one-on-one coverage along the sideline. Tyrell Robinson was looking for separation, and it'll be 4th and forever.
Well, it's just kind of a desperation throw. They thought they might get a little mix-up. Xavier Watts right there in stride.
So 2:49 now on the clock. Notre Dame's going to get the football back with plenty of time, all their timeouts, and will have the football to start the second half. As Wagenseller will punt it away for his 3rd clean attempt, and that's what it is here, but not a great one. Does get an Army bounce as it'll settle down right around midfield. Down there, Notre Dame with excellent field position once again, looking to extend its lead here at Yankee Stadium. 2:40 to play in this first half. 21-7, number 6 Notre Dame leading. You have USC and UCLA as part of this prime time doubleheader. A great rivalry in college football, 10:30 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. But now at midfield, it is this Notre Dame offense again in business with a true freshman, Aeneas Williams. Leonard fakes it to him. Now Leonard dumps it to him. And the running back will take it forward across the 45. And don't make that the tight end Mitchell Evans.
And one of the things this Army defense has done well this year coming into this ball game is not allowing explosive runs of 10 yards or more. Only 21 or 23 coming in, 6 of them today though to Notre Dame here in the first half.
And those numbers courtesy of PFF.
Last year it was a problem. This year they've been really good, but Notre Dame kind of exposing them tonight.
Some movement. Let's see if the flag comes down. It will, as Leonard lets it rip. He's got a completion and a big gain inside the red zone. Right on the money to Chris Mitchell.
I think Riley Leonard knew he had a free play. Had an offsides penalty, knew he had a free play, and took a shot down the field. Riley Leonard continues to be perfect at 7 for 7.
Defense number 52. That penalty's declined. Offense will take the result to a play, which is a first down. So a 2-minute timeout.
Riley Leonard 8 for 8. That one goes for 28. To the 2-minute timeout we go. Notre Dame threatening again, up by 14.
Time now for the Hyundai players on the rise. It's the Notre Dame offensive line opening up great holes for Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. 109 yards rushing here in the first half. Guys not even getting touched. So Anthony Knapp, left tackle, Billy Stroud, Pat Coogan, the center, Rocco Spindler, and Emil Wagner, the right tackle, doing their job here in the first half.
Anthony Knapp, the true freshman, continues to play well at that left tackle spot. It's an offensive line that, because of some injuries, has gotten rearranged through the season. They lost their starting center, Ashton Craig, in the Purdue game, a left knee injury. That was their 3rd game of the season, and they have really caught their stride. You see their rushing numbers, 7.3 yards per carry so far. And now it's 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the 15 with a handoff to Williams, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage. content trying to take as much of this clock as they can, but Army will do what they can to preserve it. 1:49 is where this will be frozen with the timeout. Well, Notre Dame coming into the season, it was sunny skies with a chance for the college football playoff. At least the Athletic thought 62% chance for the Irish to get in. I can promise you that Marcus Freeman's head is not larger than his body like that in real life. But I can also tell you that after the loss to Northern Illinois, it went down substantially. Since then, an 8-game winning streak. And to this point now, it's back to sunny skies. 83% chance, 54% chance, which is probably more important, to host a college football playoff game. So a better than half at this point of the season.
Yeah, they've really overcome. You know, and one of the things that Marcus Freeman wanted to make sure his team did was never forget the pain of that Northern Illinois team.
Yeah.
And that team beat him 16-14 and outplayed him in every aspect of the game, all three phases. That's a 6-5 team right now, Northern Illinois. But Notre Dame learned their lesson and they grew from it. And they've never lost that bitter taste of what that game felt like.
Marcus Freeman wanted his team to learn to handle success this year. Leonard to the end zone. Oh, too tall. He had Greathouse. That was his first incompletion of the night to make it 3rd and 9.
Beautiful route by Greathouse. Watch him in the slot. Give a little outside fake. Get separation from the safety, Casey Larkin. And just too tall on the throw.
So Leonard now 8 for 9, 115, the 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Love had the touchdown on the ground on the last drive. Looking to cap it off here with 1:45 to play in the first half. Williams stays in next to Leonard. Evans the man in motion. Touchdowns in his previous 2 games. And it will be Leonard on the design quarterback run. Up the middle, Leonard goes airborne, 1st and goal. He just nearly got to the goal line as Chance Keith does just enough to keep him out.
Perfect call because it's a 2-deep safety look. So these 2 linebackers are the only guys in the middle of the field. Riley Leonard sees it. It's a called quarterback draw. And a lot of green space. And again, another run for Notre Dame where the ball carrier is 10 to 15 yards downfield before he's touched by an Army defender. Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, doing a very nice job mixing run and pass.
We've got an Army defender down. We will check on him when we return here from Yankee Stadium. Well, things potentially going from bad to worse for this Army defense. That is Max DiDomenico, the senior captain from near San Antonio, Texas. He is one of the heart and souls of this defensive unit.
There he is right there.
Took a shot on the ricochet from Williams.
We had a chance to meet with him at West Point on Thursday. Such an impressive kid, great leader, was a high school quarterback.
This is a guy like so many others on the team that didn't have any D1 offers coming out of high school and was going to go to JUCO to get some tape at safety because he hadn't played it.
Right.
But he has been playing at that position since his true freshman season. He and Bryson Daly, 2 of the biggest leaders on this team, and now they'll have to respond without a guy who has been just huge all year in that secondary.
Well, he's the green dot, also the main communicator for the defense.
Now Leonard looking to pay it off, and he goes airborne again and will come up short.
Tell you what, this Army defense has given up a lot of yards and a lot of gashing runs, but they have been good around the goal line, and they've been that way all year. See if they could find a way to get another stop. It's going to be tough.
Leonard looking for that end zone again, and again he gets denied. Elo Mendoza came in and laid a big hit.
And Mendoza just fought off a block and got underneath Riley Leonard. He's a really explosive player off the edge. Excellent pass rusher that time. Just used his athleticism. He was a wide receiver in high school. He's a converted outside linebacker here at Army, and he made a big-time play right there.
Leonard in search for his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. He's already got his 13th and 14th passing touchdowns tonight. Instead, hand it off, looking to the outside, and he'll get it. Jadarian Price, touchdown Irish. Third time's the charm, and the price is right as Notre Dame extends again. Eight plays later, and Jeter can make it a 21-point game, which he does. Fifth rushing touchdown of the season for Price.
Well, one defender right here is going to get driven back into the end zone. These three guys all are going to have a shot to make a play, but just the speed of Price just outruns them to the end zone. Just weren't able to get enough on him. They were in position and couldn't get him to the ground. Nice change of pace by Jadarian Price for the touchdown.
Deflating feeling for this Army defense after really excellent play on the previous couple to keep them out of the end zone, but Price does what he needs to do.
You know, Nate Woody, the defensive coordinator, said maintaining leverage is going to be key for us in this game, and what that means is taking the right angles and dealing with the speed and acceleration of these running backs. And that was a perfect example where they lost leverage on Jadarian Price, and he beat him to the corner of the end zone.
Army defensively had given up more than 14 points just one time. That was to East Carolina, 28 points. So this matches the largest output that Army defensively has allowed this season. As Goins sends it, Benson brings it in on another fair catch. Coming up, All-State halftime report. Arizona State, Kansas shake up the Big 12 race in a major way. And there's another upset in the SEC. Big Ten college football playoff picture after the top 5 showdown earlier today in Columbus. Maria and the gang will have all of that and more at the half. Meanwhile, 26 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And we'll see if Army will try to be aggressive at all. This Notre Dame band just getting into the Sean Paul festivities here. Daly with a positive run. Oh, loses the football, and Notre Dame's right there.
Well, this is what Notre Dame has done all season. 25 takeaways coming into the game. And Army, on the other hand, one of the best in the country at protecting the football. And you can see they just rip it out at the end of the play. Only 3 turnovers for this Army offense coming into today's action.
And that's out.
And a critical one here right at the end of the first half.
Kaiser eventually jumps on it. Leonard Moore, the true freshman, was the one who stripped Daly. And now with all 3 timeouts, Notre Dame's got 19 seconds to work with to try to get in the end zone one more time, or at minimum get in field goal range.
Yeah, in any case, they got a great chance for a twofer because they'll get the ball to start the third quarter.
It will be Leonard to throw. Pump, fire, completion, diving attempt, and grab made by Thomas. Let's see it. Did it hit the ground? It did. It moved a little bit, but it looked like he had firm control of it.
Running on the field is a completed catch for first down. Notre Dame takes its first time out of the half.
Notre Dame takes the timeout. Now, again, remember on this completion, it's allowed to move a little bit so long as you keep the firm control. Terry McCauley, is that what you see on this play?
Yeah, exactly. There is slight ball movement, but he maintains that firm control. As you said, Noah, you know, pinned inside his elbow. This is a catch.
And a heck of an effort in doing so. You see again, moves, but it looks like he still keeps that forearm kind of hugged around the football. I'd imagine that's what they're looking at.
Well, I know that the ball is allowed to hit the ground. I didn't know it could move that much, but it was ruled a catch, and then, you know, it'd have to be overturned by inconclusive or conclusive evidence.
I'm not even sure they're reviewing at this point.
Yeah.
I think that they're moving on to this next play after the Notre Dame timeout. Remember, Marcus Freeman was upset because last week he was told he wasn't going to have to use the timeout to get a catch or no catch reviewed, and Virginia got the next play off. This time he takes the timeout with 14 seconds, and now it's first down. Leonard steps up in the pocket. Now he evades. And Leonard will ride the sideline to the 25 with 7 seconds remaining. Well, this is a winning streak for Notre Dame that has been lopsided. Yep. 258 is the margin. 43 points per game. They've only allowed 10.6. Look at the outscoring numbers, 343 to 85.
Yeah, and you can say, well, I mean, Louisville is the only team in this winning streak that is a really solid winning football team, but they're taking care of business. Their defense has played outstanding all year, and that's Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator. This offense has gotten better and better each week, just as Riley Leonard has gotten better and better each week.
Let's see if they can take a shot to the end zone here with the 7 seconds, or if they just try to make it an easier field goal. 4 seconds left, and dirt it. At the 25-yard line, this would be about a 43-yarder. And they'll test Mitch Jeter, who last week they said they weren't super comfortable. His range was right about here. This was about his line. He's been dealing with injuries through most of this season. Before the year, Marcus Freeman believed that he could knock it in from anywhere from 55 yards and in.
Well, the good news is he looked pretty good in pregame warmups, and this is not a critical situation field goal kick. I mean, it's a no-lose situation putting them out here right now.
And a flag is down. This could change things a little bit on at least the length of the field goal. It was going to be 43 yards, and we'll wait for Mike Roach to give us the
false start on the offense. It's number 75, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Let's go down to KT.
Well, guys, I spoke to Mitch Jeter before the game, and he does have his groin taped up. He said he's feeling good, though. He was excited for this game. Marty Biaggi, the special teams coordinator, told me they will be comfortable with Jeter at 45 and in. And Jeter said really it's going to depend on which way the wind is swirling and how comfortable he is adjusting his sight lines in this ballpark, guys.
Well, 45 and in. This one's going to be 48 yards out. This would tie a season high should he get it to go. His career long is 53. And Jeter pushed it. No good. So Army catches a break for what feels like the first time in this first half. Notre Dame's going to get the football to start the second half with a 21-point cushion as the number 6 Irish have looked the part so far through 2 quarters. Riley Leonard 9 for 11, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. They've got rushing touchdowns from both Love and Price. The one Army offensive possession that resulted in the touchdown was really the only positive momentum that Jeff Monken's team found in this first half. They did have a couple of impressive defensive stops near the goal line, but Notre Dame taking care of business through 2 as they will get set for this second half.
And you know, we talked about that dominance in this 8-game winning streak that Notre Dame has shown, but the one weak area, 3 of 9 on field goals since Jeter was injured a few weeks ago.
He missed it there as we go down to KT.
Coach, you mentioned you wanted to play with physical force in this game. With such a commanding lead at the half, how necessary will that be to sustain in the second half?
I mean, it's a mindset, it's a mentality. You have to be greedy. Like, you can't go false start, before the last field goal and then miss a field goal. I mean, that's not playing clean, and that's what I'm a little bit upset about. I love the physical nature we played with, but their touchdown drive, we had 3 penalties on defense, and we get the ball inside the 5-yard line and we don't execute on offense. So those are the things that we got to clean up. Who cares about the score? It's about a standard we got to play to.
Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, KT, 28-7 Notre Dame leads. It is the halftime report coming up next from the studio.
Welcome to the Allstate Halftime Report.
The Shamrock Series has taken over Yankee Stadium, and so has the Notre Dame run game. Jadarian Price running that one in to give Notre Dame the 28-7 lead as they head into the locker room. Welcome inside the studio. Maria Taylor alongside Joshua Perry, Chris Sims, and Nicole Auerbach here. Let's start out by taking a look at the storyline that we're following with the first half highlight brought to you by Jeep, and it is the run game of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, it's really Notre Dame playing offense on their own terms right here. Drop back pass. They're going to get perfect protection. Riley Leonard is going to deliver a ball to a wide open wide receiver. They got the matchup they wanted. They got the protection they wanted, Chris.
They did. And then had a good little game plan wrinkle here for Jeremiah Love. He continues his touchdown streak. What a phenomenal player he is in space. And Maria, you said it. The big thing here is Notre Dame's kind of out-armying Army in their own game. They're going, wait, you like to run the ball up the middle? Well, we're going to show you how good we are running the ball up the middle. Price, Love having their way in the run game right now.
And I think what's tough if you're Army is you are not built to come back in games like this, right? You want to limit possessions. You want long drives. You don't have a lot of time left.
And Army right now, I mean, they're struggling to get something going. The couple of times they did step back to pass, ended in sacks.
Ended in sacks. They got to lean on the run, spread the field out a little bit, and run the ball that way. You're not going to beat Notre Dame in a phone booth fight. That would be my big thing for them.
All right, Notre Dame, they've rushed for 128 yards, and Marcus Freeman says he likes the physicality, but don't look at the scoreboard. He wants better execution in the second half. When we come back, we're going to take you through college football across the nation, an upset in the swamp, and we also have to talk about the matchups going down in the Big 12 and what it's going to mean for the college football playoff. Time for the College Football Reset, brought to you by Allstate, a game that we are keeping our eye on. Auburn upset-minded against Texas A&M, up 21-7 right now. And remember, next week the Aggies have Texas.
Oh, we know.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday
Coach
night.
Elko slipped a little bit. Maybe they were looking ahead to Texas. Ooh, not looking good in Auburn right now. All right, let's take a look at some highlights and some games that are already in the bank. Colorado Buffaloes going on the road, taking on Kansas, trying to make it to a Big 12 championship. Didn't end well.
Yeah, Kansas got off to a great start. They were up 17-0. You can't feel too comfortable because Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, look, he strikes a pose there, but it was a huge day for the Jayhawks. They had more rush yards than Colorado had total yards. And they can see a bowl game in their future if they win this last one.
And Devin Neal, 287 total yards and 4 touchdowns. BYU, the Cougars, taking on Arizona State, Nicole.
Yeah, and it was all Arizona State. And they thought that they had this won. So the field gets stormed. Kenny Dillingham is furious because he's like, hey, this is a huge win for us.
And then they have to go back and have one more play. Jake Retzlaff trying to get it to the end zone.
I mean,
he does get the ball off.
He gets it close.
It is close, but it is short, and then they can actually storm the field the second time.
The second time.
They're looking real good, by the way, in the Big 12 race to get to the title.
Yeah, BYU lost 2 in a row. Sun Devils keeping it quiet, but won 4 straight. Ole Miss taking on Florida. They're trying to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yep, well, their playoff chances are done, Maria. That's it right there. Interception. Bryce Thornton right there in the end zone. Florida's offense, DJ Lagway, Montrell Johnson Jr., the running back, rushed for over 100 yards. They played well.
And Jackson Dart threw a couple of interceptions, sacked 4 times. Penn State taking on Minnesota. This one got scary.
This one was a little fun, though, this particular play. A little trickery. Jamison Gears gets in for the touchdown. And Minnesota was playing really well, and then Penn State was able to score on this Nick Singleton touchdown, and then they never gave up the lead.
Tyler Warren, 8 receptions and 102 yards, too, keeping his hopes alive. He's trying to get to New York, all right? Indiana taking on Ohio State, the game we were watching. Start the day.
Yes, and this play right here felt like turned the momentum for Ohio State. They didn't look back after it. Travion Henderson behind an offensive line that's battered and beat up, able to punch this one in. Thought they did a pretty good job for the course of the day. And the Buckeyes celebrating Kurt Signetti, not so happy. Will Howard.
Are you happy?
They put the tip
Are you
out.
happy, Joshua Perry?
I'm an objective member of the media. That's what I am.
Okay, then tell me what this means for Indiana, who came into this week ranked number 5. What happens next for the Hoosiers?
Well, that's going to be the biggest question coming into the next set of CFP rankings. How far do they fall? How much does their strength of schedule, which is pretty weak, how much does that hurt them? A loss to the number 2 team in the country. I think they're going to be in the mix of teams that are on the bubble, although I think that they will be still in the bracket.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Penn State in the trouble that they were in today against Minnesota. This is a team that I watch week after week, and I just ask, how good are they? Their offense is one-dimensional. Tyler Warren's phenomenal. Not much else outside of that. I think their secondary can be picked on. I don't think they have a ton of elite speed back there, and they don't have a marquee win to hang their hat on. So I'm curious how the committee views them. It's hard to see teams jumping them because it's kind of jumping behind them, but they probably deserve to drop.
Ooh, Indiana's going to be interesting. I don't know if they'll be in the bracket. It's going to be close.
They've been dominant against most of the teams.
I know.
There will be some shakeup either way you look at it.
This has been the All-State Halftime Report.
College football doubleheader right here on NBC. When we're done in New York, we head out west to L.A. The Bruins looking sharp for their rivalry game against USC in the Rose Bowl for the victory bell. Matt Castle, you were in that game 5 times, won all 5 for the Trojans. This year's version is more important for which team?
Definitely for USC. With the expectation of the year coming in, they were really high, and they have definitely not performed up to the standard. So the pressure's going to mount, especially if they lose to their rival in back-to-back years.
Unfinished business here, though. First, what has impressed you most about Notre Dame in the first half?
It's been the physicality of this Notre Dame football team, particularly with this offensive line, that they have been dominant, opening up holes for these running backs. These running backs aren't getting touched until 10, 15 yards down the field. They just need to continue that in the second half.
Notre Dame has played the game on their terms, for sure, Maria.
Well, thanks, Ahmed. You know, Notre Dame, they posed the question, what would you fight for? And tonight, we hear from someone for whom tonight's game holds extra meaning. Notre Dame walk-on kicker Eric Goins, who at 30 years old is in the process of earning a master's degree after serving 7 years in the U.S. Army. And his head coach, Marcus Freeman, and Notre Dame's Office of Military and Veterans Affairs are fighting for more opportunities for servant leaders like Eric.
This first half recap is brought to you by Geico.
I'm on a mission now. No, you can't stop me now. I keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now. I'm on a mission now. I'm on a mission now. I'm gonna crank it loud and keep it coming now. No, you can't stop me now. I'm on a mission now.
Get more with Geico. Time now for the CFB Bulletin, brought to you by Genesis Motor America. 28-7 as we get set for the start of the second half in this top 20 matchup. Army in their first 9 games, 10 3-and-outs total, went 54% on third down. Tonight, 0 for 5 on third down, 4 3-and-outs in the first half at just 75 yards through 2 quarters. The running game has been fantastic for Notre Dame. 7 touches, 62 yards for Love, 35 for Price, each of them with at least 1 score. Love with a receiving and rushing touchdown. The QB comparison, Daly lost the fumble at the end of the first half, and you've got just 1 for 2 yards for the Army quarterback.
And Riley Leonard, 9 of 11. One of those incompletions, he threw it away right before the field goal attempt. 9 completions to 7 different receivers.
Yeah.
So that tells me he's seeing the field well, and he's very comfortable throwing the football.
We've seen he spreads the sugar for this Notre Dame offense. They've got a lot of people, nobody who necessarily is their #1 go-to as a receiver. But they've got a lot who can make some things happen, like this young man, Jaden Harrison, an outstanding return man across the 30-yard line. We send it to KT.
Well, Noah and Todd, Jeff Monken just told me that he's not sure of the availability of his senior captain on defense, Max DiDomenico, who we saw leave the first half with an apparent right leg injury, and that is not good news considering they're already without their defensive captain, Kyle Lewis, in this game. Coach Monken said Notre Dame is playing their blocks better. We have to get off our blocks and then get guys down on the ground. He told his players, keep playing physical and fight in this second half, guys.
Well, the good news, KT, is DiDomenico is back on the field here to start this third quarter. He is as tough as they come. I mean, everybody on this Army team, you've got to be tough if you're going to go to West Point. Love will be the back to start this third quarter for the Irish. Thomas, the motion man. Handoff Love. With the wheels, accelerates. Jeremiah Love to the house. Touchdown.
It's going to come back. I mean, it doesn't take away from the explosiveness of Jeremiah Love, but it's going to come back for a penalty.
Marcus Freeman already recognizes that. And we'll wait for the official call here.
Personal foul, legal use of hands to the face, defense, number 97.
Whoa.
That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Dre Miller called for the hands to the face. It is Jeremiah Love going for 68 yards. He went 76 yards on a touchdown last week. And Love with a hat trick, his third score of the night.
I think they changed it to 91, Trey Sophia. But nonetheless, what a way to start the second half for Jeremiah Love. Lots of running room in the first half, and that one wide open.
So 16 seconds into this third quarter, and Notre Dame leads 35-7. Go back to take another look at the penalty here. Marcus Freeman initially thought it was going to go against his offense. Take a look at the right side of your screen, 91 right there. I'm not sure if he even got to the face, but Jeremiah Love burst through either way, got a nice hole from his offensive line and took it the distance.
Yeah, I don't know that the penalty was going to make any difference anyway, because again, nobody there to touch Jeremiah Love. This offensive line having an outstanding football game so far.
Marcus Freeman, pun unfortunately intended, has to love what he's seen out of his offense here tonight. 35 points. Love now 130 yards on 7 carries in this game and 2 touchdowns.
Would he have 137 last week against Virginia?
Yes. So back-to-back big games for Love. We sat down with him yesterday, asked him what he thought about this Army defense. He says he really doesn't hype up any opponent that he plays. He doesn't necessarily look at them as anything other than the opponent that he's going to play next time out. He just tries to see where he can attack, and he has found a lot of those holes in this Army defense as Goins will pooch it through and picked up cleanly, but nowhere to run on the lost footing.
Well, it's one thing when you just grind and pound running plays, but the explosive plays. This was 65 yards, the game we did against Florida State. Jadarian Price. Last week, Jeremiah Love takes one over 70 for the touchdown. And then just moments ago, another long touchdown run for Jeremiah Love. And again, it's the explosive nature of this backfield tandem of Notre Dame that any play like that can be a big play.
Now short in motion, first down for Army, and Udo will bulldoze his way to the 20. So can this Army running game find a response to what Love has provided for Notre Dame? Price and Love a combined 165 yards on the ground. Effective behind that O-line. This is an Army offensive line that Jeff Monken told us is maybe the best he's ever been around as a coach, certainly as a head coach. Can they find any room for the running game? And Bryson Daly in particular does have the touchdown. Good blocking this time as he will pile his way forward and set up 3rd and 1.
Again, this Notre Dame defense that is coached by Al Golden and his defensive staff, they are just so in tune to this Army running game right now. Watch as this guy comes in motion, these safeties kick down. And those are the guys that are filling the alleys and that are coming up to make the plays. They don't want to get outnumbered at the point of attack, so as those wingbacks move, they move with them and get extra bodies to the place where the ball is going.
That's a defensive unit that in third year under Al Golden as defensive coordinator, as Daly will move the sticks here, has found this level of confidence and playing fast alongside one another. And to do it with some of the injuries that they've had to endure this year has been truly special to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Howard Cross not playing tonight, but they had a couple other high-level players that were lost earlier in the season. Benjamin Morrison, one of their best cornerbacks. And they're playing without some outstanding football players, but they got young depth that has really stepped up for them.
Udo up the middle and disappears into that pile at the 30. Still without Boubacar Traore and Jordan Botello, two guys who are expected to be big pieces up front. Take a look at Howard Cross, not accustomed to being on that sideline. He's week to week. The other three out for the season, and three guys who really came into the season with All-American type hopes for this defense.
Well, again, it's a credit to how they've recruited. It's a credit to the depth, because some of the guys that have had to step up and play are young, inexperienced guys that are playing valuable minutes.
Daly, and the stutter step didn't get him far. Heinisch came in as we check in with Jordan Cornette.
Bama, Oklahoma tied up at 3 apiece. Sooners heavy dogs, don't tell them that. Xavier Robinson, 18 yards to the crib for 6, and the Sooners lead at half, 10-3, Noah.
What else could happen this week? We have seen some huge upsets across the country that have completely shaken up what the college football playoff picture is going to look like, and everybody came into the season saying, oh, 12 teams, so many more spots. We're going to have all these games that aren't going to matter. No, we have so many more games that matter, and it's still the same level of chaos as Daly gets dragged down. Riley Mills just held on for dear life. Daly looked like he was going to have a good crease to potentially get a first down. Instead, it's 3rd and 5. Or make it 4th down, I should say.
Yeah, Mills is right here. He's going to be blocked by the right guard, Generale, but he's still able to get a big paw free and pull the quarterback down. The other thing that Notre Dame is doing, in addition to rocking their safeties with the movement of the wingbacks, they're doing a lot of late stunts or late shifts of their defensive line at the last minute to confuse the blocking up front.
Jeff Monken says he does not care about going forward deep in his own territory. It's going to be 4th down and 4. And they're not going to get close. Bryson Daly gets devoured. Heinisch in there, Sneed in there, Mills in there, and the captain helps turn away Army once again.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. And by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. Shamrock Series here. Notre Dame and Army have played some great battles in the past, but this one has been all Irish from the start. Faison got that first touchdown, and this Army defense, which had been so impressive through their first 9 games, is really struggling to contain this Irish attack.
Well, they knew it was a different level competition that they were stepping up against tonight, and Notre Dame has just thrashed them in the run game primarily.
Gonna look to run. Oh, it's trickery. Leonard perfectly delivered. First down inside the red zone to Evans.
Yeah, first play. Evans is going to kind of show block, and then because it's a long developing play, leaks out, and Elo Bodozi was fooled on that coverage.
Evans makes the catch. By the way, this is the 5th out of 8 drives for Notre Dame that starts in Army territory. It has been complete domination in all 3 phases, including a blocked punt. Another handoff, this time well read, as Bodozi makes up for the mistake. So Price gains 2, sets up second down and 8. Leonard 10 for 12, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 10 for 12. He missed one on an overthrow in the end zone. The other one he dirted on purpose because nobody was there. I mean, he has really been impressive tonight throwing the football.
That's been the biggest question mark for this offense. You know what he can do with his legs. Now looking to throw again. He'll run out of time, gets rid of it just in time before he goes down. And it's going to get whistled down as Bodozi came in and laid the hit.
Little mix-up in the blocking assignment because Jack Latour, number 92, is going to come in unblocked. And we've seen this offensive line play a beautiful game so far tonight. That time a little miscommunication up front. They turn a guy loose. And Riley Leonard just trying to get rid of the football.
Now 3rd down and 8. Notre Dame 3 of 4 on 3rd down here tonight, compared to 1 for 7 for Army. And they got Aeneas Williams, the true freshman, at running back. Great blitz pickup at his age. Instead, handed off up the middle, stays on his feet, and then gets crunched at the 13. Latour again there to make the play.
I think Marcus Freeman wants to try to get his field goal unit improved. I mean, that's an area he told us when we talked to him, we've got to get better in this. I mean, the injury to Jeter has affected him. 3 of 9 since earlier in the year when he got hurt before the Georgia Tech game. And for them to go where they want to go the rest of this season, they've got to be solid in this part of the game.
This one's going to be a 30-yarder straight away. And Jeter
Has it blocked. Picked up with some room to work. Bodozi got a hand on it. And then Larkin just gets tripped. Jeter had to go around and make the play.
So Mitch Jeter pushed the first, has the second blocked. And they cannot get this field goal operation down. Notre Dame had a chance to extend it a little further. But what a play by this Army special teams unit as they get the football back. Tomorrow night, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams in a primetime showdown. Football Night in America begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Monument Park here in the Bronx. All of the great numbers and names in Yankee history. There's the captain, Derek Jeter, the Hall of Famer, the legend. And we've got Mitch Jeter, who has not quite delivered to the same level so far at Yankee Stadium as the man who shares the namesake. Either way, his Notre Dame team still up big. And here's a nice hole and crease to the outside inside the 40 for Daly.
There's not been a lot of room to run for Bryson Daly tonight. This is that little counter action. They show everything moving to the right. Very specific footwork. He said when he first started here in this offense, he struggled because it was different than the kind of option that he ran in high school in Abernathy, Texas, playing for his dad. A lot of the footwork is very specific. You have to be in the right course, and he's really adapted to it here in the last 2 years as a starter.
Robinson, the motion man, fake it to him, up the middle, and it'll set up 3rd and 4 for this offense. I mean, that's got to be difficult of a transition to get into this offense as a freshman. Your head's already spinning, and then you've got to try to really adapt to it quickly. Yeah. That's got to be a challenging process.
It is. I mean, all offenses are new for, you know, a high school kid coming, but a specific kind of option, triple option offense is very challenging.
They have won the time of possession battle, which is what they were hoping to do. It just hasn't resulted in the way that they thought it might. 3rd down and 4. Pitch it to the outside, Robinson, and he's got the speed of the corner on a 1st down.
And these perimeter plays, as you see this pitch and this option, they fake inside first, get it out quickly. In games prior to tonight, those are big plays, big yardage plays against this Notre Dame defense that runs so well. They're short yard plays. This one was enough to get the 1st down, but by just enough.
Xavier Watts came in to make the tackle, had another interception last week, his 4th pick of the season. He's tied for 9th now. Interceptions at Notre Dame with 11 in his career. Daly's going to keep it. And Daly takes a hit, bounces off into Notre Dame territory. He invites that contact as Adon Schuler came in speeding from the secondary.
It's just, I mean, those things add up. I know he's a tough kid, but those kind of hits add up over the course of a night. And I think Marcus Freeman has to be so pleased with how physical his defense and offensive line have played tonight at the line of scrimmage.
Again, the key coming in, get to the point of attack, bring the fight to Army. Don't wait for Army to bring the fight to you. They've done that really from the opening play of the game. Pitch it back, dangerous one, and it's a big loss. Osbury was right there. Robinson never had a chance.
Well, Finucane, the left tackle, got a little bit confused out front, and it forced Daly to pitch it late. And Osbury, again, his quickness playing as an outside linebacker against this offense. It was not a good pitch. The back had to wait for it, and a negative yardage play brings up 3rd and long.
Osbury, a sophomore from Baton Rouge. He's his high school's all-time leading tackler, 380 in his high school career. He's showcasing every bit of the arsenal tonight. Daly just got it off. Oh, what a play! And the slip down by Casey Reynolds is going to leave them short. Beautifully done by Daly to get rid of it in time.
Yeah, he does a great job of getting rid of the football, steps up in the pocket, shows some strength, and at least it gives them an opportunity to go for it here on this 4th and short.
That's a heck of a way to have your 2nd completion of the day. Gains 11. And if nothing else, Daly has the utmost respect and confidence from his teammates. That's what Jeff Monken told us. Just commands the huddle in such a way. Sets up 4th down and 2. It will be Daly. And Daly's going to be short. Notre Dame with another stop turns them away on downs.
Jalen Sneed does enough to keep the big quarterback from getting to that yard to gain. And the Irish defense looking every bit
Back to Yankee Stadium. And Noah, you said Jalen Sneed made the tackle. I just want you to see where he came from on this fourth down play. He's lined up kind of like a safety and a direct beeline. Takes on the block of Udo and then gets rid of the block and makes the tackle on a 220-pound quarterback. I mean, Jalen Sneed, Jaden Osbury, these guys who are linebackers that are kind of rotating in freely in this defense, flying around hitting people.
New quarterback in for the Irish, Steve Angeli, the junior from Westfield, New Jersey, Bergen Catholic product, one of the elite programs in the high school football scene out in Jersey, nearby here, not far from Yankee Stadium as well. And we've got an injury down on the field after that running play from Notre Dame. And it will be an Army defensive player down again. We saw Domenico come back in to start the second half after he went down towards the end of the first half. We'll check in when we come back here to Yankee Stadium. With Discover, every fan earns cash back on their game day purchases. Discover, the official card of the Big Ten. Well, last night, Cary defeated Mepham in the Nassau County Conference 2 Championships 28-7. Cary will take on Half Hollow Hills East next week for the Long Island Championship. That's a mouthful. That's a long school name right there.
Half Hollows East.
Meanwhile, Cody Harris Miller was the injured player for Army. He was helped off the field, sophomore from Middletown, Delaware, who has started 9 straight at defensive tackle. That's over the middle, and it's caught. And Jelly with his first completion to Bo Collins for a first down. Well, Jelly's got plenty of ability. He was an Under Armour All-American in high school, and they believe in the future for Angeli. He decided to stay as the backup quarterback here as opposed to potentially fighting for a starting job elsewhere. Continue to develop within this program, and he's got another year of eligibility to potentially be the starter of next season for the Irish should everything go according to his plan. That one caught around the perimeter by Harrison.
We saw this a couple weeks ago when we were in South Bend for the Florida State game. Angeli came in late in the ball game. They wanted to get him some live action throwing. Boy, Army's having some tough things happen on their defense. That's Casey Larkin, one of their starting safeties. They've already seen Max DiDomenico banged up.
Well, Angeli got hit as he threw it. He still completed it to the outside. Nice job to stay in there, take the shot. Bo Collins with another first down catch.
Bo Collins had been quiet in the ball game. Now 2 catches on this drive. Goes with good pressure.
Riley Leonard now with the red penny on, giving the thumbs up from the sideline. You did ask Marcus Freeman 2 weeks ago when we were in South Bend about, do you keep going after transfer quarterbacks? At some point, it feels like you've got to find a way to either develop within house or find another avenue to get consistency at the position. And he said, you know, I actually believe that the quarterback of the future is currently on this roster. Somebody that can be the starting quarterback at Notre Dame. He said he didn't feel that way necessarily last year past Sam Hartman.
Well, it's tempting because you see some of these guys who are out there that have performed. They've got a lot of experience, a lot of game reps, and you see how it's played out this year in college football. You know, Will Howard at Ohio State, Dylan Gabriel at Oregon. I know he didn't play great today, but Curtis Rourke at Indiana. Older guys who got picked up in the portal.
Angeli lofts towards the sideline. It's caught. First and goal for Notre Dame as Faison goes up high to grab it.
Well, excellent protection. I mean, a lot of time to let this play develop. Faison on the little bench route. We saw Riley Leonard start off perfect, and now Angeli starting off 4 for 4.
Just picking apart this defense, and Riley Leonard preparing for maybe his future, rocking the baby to sleep on the sideline. Approaching a minute to play in this third quarter. We'll see if Angeli can pay it off with a touchdown. And they will let him throw it. Angeli with plenty of time. Wide open. He just overthrew Flanagan, streaking in the end zone.
Yeah, Flanagan gets separation, and he is wide open, and just ball sailed a little bit on Angeli on that one. His first miss of the ball game.
And the same reaction from his starting quarterback. Angeli has talked a lot about how much he learned from Sam Hartman last year, just the intelligence that he brought to the table, influenced him into this season, how he prepares, and now getting to see Riley Leonard as well. Don't forget Tyler Buckner back on this team, another former starter who was the scout team quarterback this week to help prepare for this Army offense. Run up the middle, staying on his feet, placed to the outside. What an effort! Touchdown Irish! Pretty run, and Jadarian Price with his second of the night.
Price goes into the middle of the line here, and it looks like he's going to be tackled for about a 2-yard loss. Watch this. I mean, right now he is tackled, but he doesn't stop moving. He doesn't stop his feet. Nobody wraps him up, and he's able to bounce it out and get to the goal line for the touchdown. Excellent second effort by Price. Pays off for the touchdown.
Impressive juke on Justin Weaver. Put him on the deck. Jeter's extra point stays perfect there. And it's 42-7 with under a minute to play in this third quarter. Let's check in with Jordan Cornette.
Bama, Oklahoma, first drive of the second half. Jalen Milroe. Oh no. Eli Bowen makes him pay, picks it off 5 plays later. It would set this up on a 3rd and goal. Xavier Robinson capitalizes on the Milroe mistake. 17-3 Sooners, Noah.
Man, wow, that is massive. Wow. Could be major implications over there in the SEC. A look at the United Cam here at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, we've seen the fans do this all night. That's been, I don't know if you want to call it raising the roof with a human. I've never quite seen that level before. It's like crowd surfing, but in a very micro level.
That I would do that. I would pick one of the little kids to do it if it was me. You know, that I can handle that.
Yeah, grown man, you're out. That's what seemingly it's developed into. Earlier we saw fully functioning adults up top, but now it's the kids' turn. Yeah, it's fun. They're flying. 45 seconds left in this third quarter. Notre Dame, both quarterbacks effective running game. Now 4 rushing touchdowns for the Irish, and Benson will finally look to return one for the first time since the opening kickoff and get caught up inside the 10. Covered perfectly as Kennedy Urlacher makes the tackle. Time now for the progressive game flow. Well, this really got turned on its head with a block kick. Bryce Young, his 3rd block kick of the season. Jeremiah Love has been a superstar. 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, including that one impressive to go over the top. And Riley Leonard's day, 10 for 13, 148, 2 touchdowns, 30 on the ground. A Notre Dame defensive attack has been stellar. 26 takeaways this season is the most in the FBS, including that one tonight. Only the 4th giveaway of the season for this Army offense that's now backed up inside their own 10. Start the motion man, pitch it to the outside, and that is a positive start to the drive. So Mari Howard is going to pick up a couple of yards. Well, for Riley Leonard in this offense, we saw how much they threw it last week against Virginia. They built up a big lead, and yet Mike Denbrock in this offense, they really tried to hone in on that passing game, continue to refine what they've built through the year. We've seen it pay dividends again tonight.
Yeah, and I don't know that they'll continue that in the 4th quarter, but that last possession with Angeli, I think they definitely wanted to let him work on the passing game and work on his own personal game.
Likely the final play of this third quarter, and Howard is going to bring it across the 20 for a first down for Army. So Notre Dame gets a couple of more scores here, the early one in the 3rd, and then cap it off with a late one to go up 42-7 through 3. Riley Leonard cheering his squad on from the sideline as Price and company extend it further, head to the 4th. Aerial coverage brought to you by the Lincoln Wish List Sales Event. Here from the Bronx, and that one a good look at Manhattan, Madison Square Garden, and the beautiful lights across the borough. We're glad to have you back here. It has been a completely impressive performance from Notre Dame, and if there were any questions, I feel like they've been answered tonight.
Yeah, a complete performance. The special teams still, you know, the kicking, the field goal kicking still needs some work, but everything else dominant. 406 yards of offense, 139 yards of offense for Army. So offense and defense from the very beginning, Notre Dame really showed up, was the more physical team, moved the line of scrimmage and asserted themselves early on in the ball game.
Look, this is one of the best starts in Army program history. In fact, it matches the best start in program history. They still have so much to play for the rest of this season. Of course, the big matchup against Navy, also going to be in the American Athletic Conference Championship game against Tulane later this season.
Yeah, they've got their final home game, Senior Day, next week against UTSA. But then they've got the conference championship game against a very good Tulane team. And then the battle with Navy. So a lot to play for still. And the big question for them, I think, is just some of the guys they've got banged up in the ball game tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully those guys can come back and play here down the stretch.
Some specifically big pieces on that defensive side, but offensively it's a team that is going to find its stride again. They run the football, now they're going to look to throw it, and Daly will look for a nice chunk and get it towards the sideline to Noah Short. Came into this game with 11 catches on the season and 3 receiving touchdowns, makes it 2nd and short. For Army, one thing Max DiDomenico said to us, he said 2 things about Jeff Monken. One, every single week he compares their opponent to the Green Bay Packers. He says, look, this team's not the Green Bay Packers, but, and he tries to make it seem like they're the best team in all of football at every level. The second thing he said is, as Daly will run for the first down here, he doesn't say much about anything on the outside noise. You asked about the spotlight that this team is under this year, and they have a team meeting every day before they lift. You take a look at what Monken has done in his era as the head coach at Army. It has been a pretty remarkable turnaround from what the program was, and part of it was he doesn't really say much about what there's stuff is going on outside the program. It is very much in-house. It is very much focused on the task at hand. He said if it wasn't for the media, they wouldn't have even known they were in the American title game. They would have just assumed they had to keep playing and figure it all out along the way.
And he's the same every day. You know, and I think that consistency fits well with this program and where he's at.
Slingshot there to get Daly back to the line of scrimmage. Check in with Jordan.
Bama, Oklahoma, game break. Jalen Milroe struggles. They continue. Kip Lewis jumps the pass. 49-yard pick six. Sooners 24-3 now, Noah.
Man,
my goodness.
So they are pouring it on, the new SEC member against one of the mainstays, of course, in the conference, and not just shaking up the college football playoff picture, but potentially the SEC championship picture. With Ole Miss losing, A&M was down. A lot going on in that conference for Notre Dame. They can control what they can control the rest of the way. They've got one more regular season game. Here's a shot down the field. It's nearly picked off. It looked like it was going to be an easy interception for Christian Gray. Instead, it's 3rd and 9 for Army.
Well, trying to take a shot down the field and just overthrowing his receiver, Casey Reynolds, and a near interception. Again, this team, this Notre Dame team, 26 takeaways. That would have been their 16th interception of the season.
So 3rd down and 9. Daly getting a little bit more opportunity to throw the ball now. 3 of 5, 22 yards on the day. And they'll look to pass here. Daly floats it, sideline to the ball. Noah Short just couldn't quite get to it in time. He was covered by Osbury, and it's 4th and long.
He made a nice adjustment to the football because the ball is actually thrown over the wrong shoulder, but he makes a nice adjustment, just can't quite get back in time to make the catch. It's underthrown, and Short just comes up a little short on that one.
You think he's heard that one before?
Maybe.
So 4th down and 9, and Jeff Monken and this offense will stay on the field. Rendina, the running back next to Bryson Daly. He's going to feel the pressure, get hit as he throws it, and this one is picked.
Now they're saying incomplete.
And a flag is down. Daly took a shot when he let that one go.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's going to be Kaiser coming in on the blitz up the middle.
Now fourth down play, Notre Dame bringing pressure.
As he used the pile on the ground. A little bit of that.
Yeah, I don't think the hit was late. It was just the end of the play, just driving him to the ground, that drew the flag.
So keeps this drive alive as the sixth-year senior captain, first Notre Dame player with 2 defensive touchdowns in a season since Julian Love in 2017. Did that a couple years ago. Marcus Freeman said he's unique because he's the only guy remaining basically that he had as a defensive coordinator. Daly around the edge, gets sandwiched near the 40 as we send it down to KT.
Yeah, and Freeman also said that Kaiser wanted to come back this season and be a captain of this team. He said Kaiser's leadership is crucial to this group. And Kaiser noted, you know, there's a lot of people that go into me stepping on the field 65 times. It's not a me thing, it's more of a we thing.
Now, program record there, the 65 games played. And look, 6 years, so it does help when you get the additional year. And KT just said he really wanted to be a captain. In fact, Marcus said, I don't think I've ever been around anybody who wanted to be a captain more at Notre Dame than Jack Kaiser from nearby Royal Center, Indiana. Pitch. Robinson's going to throw it. Hit as he does. And a dangerous one falls incomplete.
Well, you just can't say enough about the discipline of the Notre Dame defense. They try another trick play, and it's not going to fool them. Tui Alamaka, number 44, is going to be stride for stride with the quarterback Daly coming out of the backfield. They thought they could fool him with a little trick play, and it didn't fool the Notre Dame defense. Pressure by Heinisch, forced the throw inside, and excellent coverage downfield by Tui Alamaka.
Al Golden has to be thrilled with his defense. Just the 1 touchdown drive allowed, and you see what they've done on third down. Army is 2 for 10 with an average position of 3rd and 8.1. So in a handoff, and Udo will dive forward across the 40 as we send it down to KT.
Well, guys, Heinisch is one of those players that has had to step in the absence of Howard Cross, and he told me the advice Cross gave him was, hey, you're up. You go to practice, you bust your butt, it's your time, so just do what you know how to do. And Cross has been here down on the sidelines acting as a player coach. He sat right next to Riley Mills after the defensive penalty in the first half, trying to encourage him and giving him some advice. So even though Cross is not in this game, he is very much still a part of this defense.
Yeah, KT asked Riley Mills about Heinisch, and he said, yeah, I know I played with his brother, and they're similar, but he really plays more like Howard Cross.
Yeah.
And how his body
type. A little
type
undersized, yep. Explosive.
Meanwhile, 4th down and 3 for Army. They got to get it off here. 2 seconds on the clock, and they're going to call the timeout. So first timeout taken by either team with 10:59 to play in this 4th quarter. It'll be a 4th down when we come back for Army.
Time now for the upcoming schedule presented by Discover. Tonight, USC and UCLA rivalry renewed. 10:30 Eastern, part of our doubleheader on NBC and Peacock. Jaden Maeva, his second start for the Trojans. Ethan Garbers has found a rhythm as this season has gone on for the Bruins and an elite uniform matchup.
Oh, yeah. I love when those two teams decided, you know what, we're just going to wear our colored uniforms, our dark jerseys, no matter what. I think the first year they did it, they both got penalized, or the visiting team got penalized. Now they don't, and it's quite a scene.
Another fourth down stop for this Notre Dame defense. Daly had nowhere to run, and Kaiser, who got called for the roughing the passer, makes the play on this one to send him away.
Well, penetration, watch the penetration across the line of scrimmage. Again, this has been one of the goals of the defense all night. Take the fight to them, make the action happen behind the line of scrimmage, and Kaiser there to finish them off. A relentless effort by this Notre Dame defense tonight. The #1 rushing team in college football coming into the game, and they have been absolutely shut down by Al Golden's defense.
Todd, Army had only missed 3 fourth down conversions. They were 16 of 19 coming into the game. They're 0 for 3 on fourth down here tonight. And a massive credit to Al Golden and this defense as this Notre Dame offense comes back out on the field. It'll be Williams with a carry. Navigates his way through. Aeneas Williams, pedal to the middle. Touchdown. What a run for the true freshman.
Well, fatigue has to be playing a part a little bit on this Army defense. But look, again, just push to the second level, and Williams is not touched. He's through the line, and he breaks free. Nobody gets a hand on him on this Army defense. Blocking at the point of attack, linemen getting to the second level, and backs running to daylight.
Notre Dame now has rushing touchdowns in this half of 68 yards from Love and 58 yards from Williams, both on the first play of the drive as Jeter adds the extra point. 49-7, and the rushing numbers continue to balloon. 274 yards on the ground for this Irish attack, showing off at Yankee Stadium.
Who will ever forget the famous four horsemen backfield of Layden, Stool, Dreyer, Miller, and Crowley?
The four horsemen, Crowley carrying the ball as they ripped through Army at Ebbets Field in 1923. Take a look at his handiwork, Junior.
100th anniversary of the Notre Dame Army game that will go down in history as the game that granted those four immortal status as the four horsemen. Grantland Rice, sports writer, would name them in his column exactly that. We've seen the statue and the legacy that they leave. Fitting that Notre Dame would run the football as well as they have today as we celebrate the 100th year anniversary at Yankee Stadium with another fair catch here, and we send it down to KT.
Well, guys, players on both sides of the ball have acknowledged the history this series holds, but Mitchell Evans is most excited for the uniforms. He said, we get really cool jerseys, and this jersey is probably my favorite since I've been here. I love the bluish gray, and of course the uniforms are inspired by Grantland Rice's famous passage, which begins outlined against a blue-gray October sky. The four horsemen rode again, guys.
You can tell the players have been very excited for the uniforms. There is that passage and a great look at those four on horseback and the beautiful statues that came to follow. The quote here for the Shamrock Series. The numbers are tough to see though.
Yeah. Really cool looking uniforms up close.
Very much so. Howard off the pitch. Oh, nice job to get across the line of scrimmage, but not much further. Gains a yard. So for Army, another experience here. They had struggled against some of the Power 4 now schools last season, including a big loss against LSU. That was a game where Jeff Monken said to his team, they're not the Green Bay Packers, but until after the game he said, well, no, they might be the Green Bay Packers.
Some of those guys may be playing for the Green Bay Packers.
Exactly.
Some of these players for Notre Dame may be playing for the Green Bay Packers one day too.
And they have showcased it on both sides of the football, special teams units, outside of the field goal units. It has been a pretty picture-perfect game for Notre Dame. A short gain there for Daly as we check in with Jordan.
Auburn looking to respond to 14 unanswered from the Aggies. They do. It's Jarquez Hunter punching it in. And the Tigers lead 28-21, Noah.
Oh, back and forth now, late third quarter there. That is a huge game, huge SEC implications. Remember, the big win right now on this Notre Dame schedule is week 1 against A&M on the road, 23-13. That was followed up by that inexplicable loss to Northern Illinois. But since then, they have centered the ship and look like they are in prime position for their 9th consecutive win to move to 10-1. Daly to pass, no, he'll run. And run for a first down. So now you're seeing some of those promising young pieces in this defensive unit for Notre Dame. Bryce Young, who had that blocked punt early in the game. Kingston Viliamo-Asa, the linebacker, who they really are excited about. That was Preston Zinter, the sophomore, who just made that last tackle. See some of Kennedy Urlacher, who made a great special teams play. Another true freshman. The blend of true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores, along with the 5th and 6th year veterans on this defensive group, is really telling for what the future of this program is going to look like in the next couple of years. Another tough run by Daly.
Yeah, and it's at all 3 levels of the defense. That's the exciting thing if you're a Notre Dame fan or Notre Dame coaching staff, is because both in the D-line, the linebacker, and the defensive secondary, you've got this infusion of young, highly productive talent. And they're able to learn from the older guys. They're able to learn good practice habits, good preparation habits, how to watch film, how to do all those kind of things to prepare like a pro. And then be ready to step up in a bigger role even next year.
Kanye Udo back in there. Miles Stewart in motion. Daly deep drop. And the quick pass goes to Howard. He makes the first man miss, but not the second. And a nice play made by another true freshman in Sean Civiliano. Sets up 3rd down and 4. So for Army, they've got UTSA in their final regular season game, then the conference championship, the American championship against Tulane, all leading into their biggest game of every year against Navy. A game that has been back and forth the last couple of seasons now. That's a nice fake and a nice run, and that's going to put Daly over 100 yards on the day. A 1st down run at that as well. Daly now 30 running attempts for 115 yards. He ran it 36 times in their previous game against North Texas.
Again, nice patience, nice little design. They fake to the fullback. They bring the one wing back up and lead through. That was Samari Howard, number 27, the lead blocker.
So 118 yards and a touchdown now officially listed for Daly. Udo, the lead back, will get it across 40. This is impressive stuff. Now ties a school record with Mike Mayweather from 1990. Most games with 100+ rushing yards in Army history. Now has gotten over that plateau with that last rush.
Dad was his high school football coach in Abernathy, Texas. Both of his grandparents, high school football coaches. Both of his sisters, athletes. Just runs in the family.
Handoff up the middle for Udo and tackled by a group. You know, when Jeff Monken was talking about him being a son of a coach, I look towards you because that's how you grew up. And I'm just curious your perspective of how you felt like it did help you as you went along in each stage of your football career.
Well, I think your football IQ just is going to be a little bit higher because you're used to being around it. You go to practices, you watch film, you're sitting in meetings, or, you know, with your dad and his coaches, and those kind of things you're exposed to. Just you learn the game and appreciate the game at a higher level. And then I think just being the son of a coach, you just have such a value for the importance of team over individual.
It's going to be a 1st down run here for Daly. That's what Marcus Freeman has been preaching to his team. He really stressed the idea of individual glory comes from team success. And if you're just focused on the individual glory, the team success never follows. It feels like they've bought into that concept, and they're playing really together as a unit right now.
They are. And they're getting better. And that, you know, this is when you want to be playing your best football, is down the stretch in the month of November. Obviously, as an independent, there is no conference championship game for Notre Dame, but they are trending and they are playing their best football at the most important time of the season.
Daly pitches, some good space for Howard to work with, and he gets shot put forward towards the 20. Well, a lot's been going on around the country today in regards to the college football playoff. Here's what it looks like. Number 1, Oregon is going to be the final undefeated team remaining after this game goes final. They had a bye. Texas beats Kentucky. Miami beats Wake Forest. Right now, Boise State leading just 17-13 at Wyoming. BYU lost. Ohio State beats Indiana. Penn State beats Minnesota barely. Indiana lost to Ohio State. Alabama trailing 24-3 in the 3rd. Ole Miss lost at Florida. Georgia gets past UMass 59-21. So a lot of the teams that were in will find themselves out come Tuesday, and a lot of the teams that were just out might find themselves in, as that one's dropped. Another near interception for Bryson Daly.
Yeah, he just threw that one up for grabs, and he knows it. He's mad at himself because he just put that one in harm's way. Threw it right down the middle of the field. And the good thing for him is his receiver turned into a defender and knocked the ball away.
Ben Minnick had a chance at it. Daly will live to see another day. Has only thrown one interception. It was the last game against North Texas. He's nearly thrown a couple of them here tonight. Now he'll keep the drive alive and nearly kept his footing to the 11.
This time they went unbalanced to the right, got heavy on that side and ran the ball back to the left side, and Again, a lot of backups in right now for Notre Dame, and they kind of got outflanked on that play, and a nice run by Bryson Daly.
All of the action around the country that we just went through, that certainly helps Notre Dame's case in terms of hosting a playoff game.
Absolutely. Thought it was interesting, too, just anticipation that there might be the possibility of a home playoff game. The University of Notre Dame changed not only their exam schedule for the end of the semester, but also when students had to move out of the dorm to try to accommodate a potential home game on December 19th or December 20th or 21st.
We'll see if Notre Dame can take care of business. Their final game of the season will go on the road to USC. And look, we're going to see what USC looks like against UCLA after this game. But any rivalry game, you know, throw the records out the window. We've seen some crazy finishes between those two programs over the course of the historical nature of the matchup. And last year it was dominated by the Irish, and it was USC coming in as the highly touted team with the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. This one has never been in doubt. The Irish from the start have controlled it and cruising to their 10th win of the season.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium, where the football is really secondary to Army players. On December 4th, West Point Cadet Firsties will find out which branch of the U.S. Army they will serve in upon graduation. You're looking at linebacker Brett Jarina. He told me his top choice is infantry, thanks to his dad. Joe Jarina played quarterback at Army, graduated in 2001, and was in flight school when tragedy struck on 9/11. His teammates and friends all went to war. Brett told me his dad is always focused on the fundamentals, and that's the way he raised me. He said he loved the idea that he was part of something bigger than himself, and he's always wanted me to be a big part of that, guys.
Well, obviously a lot here in New York, and the memories that come with that. Run up the middle. Daly slips away inside the 5. It'll be a 3rd down. I mean, we got a chance to meet with Bryson Daly and Max DiDomenico, along with Jeff Monken, who really gave us a full lowdown on what these kids go through, their entire process of year 1 all the way through year 4. They're so impressive, and really just a pleasure to be in their presence. Really.
Yeah. And I mean, the rigors of what they go through from their freshman year all the way through their senior years is so demanding and so time-consuming that when they are in the football building from 2:30 to 6:30 every day, that is kind of their escape.
Yeah.
That's their fun time, their free time, so to speak, even though it's not free time.
No, it's very much work, but they use that as their safe haven. Daly looking for his second touchdown of the day. Won't come here. It'll be 4th down and short. Another opportunity for this Notre Dame defense to send them away on 4th down. You know, Jeff Mungan said it's so hard to play high-quality Division I football when you're only getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. But the classes are so rigorous that it makes it difficult to actually get enough sleep to be at a high quality of athletics.
They have mandatory study hall that goes to 10:30 p.m. and lights out at 11:30, but sometimes they have to request extra time to study because they're not done.
He said most seniors that are done with their required classwork, they'll take, you know, 3-6 hours of credits, maybe that final year, final semester. He said these guys, even if they finish their degree, they're done with their requirements, they take 18 hours. And it's literally rocket science. Timeout on the field, under a minute to play. It'll be 4th down when we come back. Not an ideal day for the Army defense. There's Andon Thomas, one of the linebackers. Time now for Honor Roll, brought to you by Nissan. We're talking about their schedules. This is a guy who's a junior with a 3.98 GPA in chemical engineering. And look at what his day-to-day looks like.
Yeah, I mean, this right here is out of my league. And I don't even know what these things mean. Thermodynamics, advanced probability.
Yeah, to then statistics. Go right into platoon operations right after that. Remarkable. 4th down and 2. Daly is going to get enough for the 1st down, but it won't be enough for a touchdown with 32 seconds. Notre Dame thought that they had the football. Instead, they're going to get back to the line quickly. Looked like there's a Notre Dame defender who was slow to get up, and he'll go down. So they'll take the time to tend. And this is a matchup that has seen some pretty impressive venues over the year. Ebbets Field, 1923, home of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Then the following year, the Polo Grounds in Manhattan in 24. Eventually finding your way to a new borough in the Bronx. 25-29, 31-46 in 1969. Then head over to Queens in 1965, Shea Stadium, before making their way back to new Yankee Stadium here in the Bronx in 2010, where we are here tonight for this Shamrock Series matchup that has been all Notre Dame. They are perfect in Shamrock Series games, and it looks to be that will be the case once again here tonight. Marcus Freeman wanted violence and mass out of his team. Well, he sent the mass out, and they brought the violence from the first snap of the game. So first and goal upcoming for Army here, trying to add one more score.
Well, the one thing you know about Army and any of the service academy teams, they will not quit until the game is completely over.
Yes.
And they have one timeout here also if they don't get it in here.
But they will. Bryson Daly. It is a Daly double. His second touchdown of the night.
.37 rushing attempts for Bryson Daly tonight, and 145 hard-earned yards, and this last one for a touchdown.
Another multi-touchdown day for the senior from Texas. Extra point. And Granati makes it 49-14 with 22 seconds remaining. But for Army, playing through the final whistle. And their second touchdown. They're going to suffer their first loss of the season. And the remarkable start. We do have USC and UCLA out in Los Angeles, 10:30 on NBC and Peacock. Take a look at the Rose Bowl getting set for the festivities here tonight. That should be a lot of fun. And it's similar to what we were talking about even with Notre Dame and USC. It's just a rivalry game, and you know, UCLA last year got the better of them. That was a big win for them. That it kind of left a sour taste.
I think
in the
they've won
Trojans.
the last couple in a row, haven't they?
They have. 2 years ago, SC did take it. World Series champion, now 2 times Dave Roberts, manager, in the house. He looks good in that hat. I like that, the black with the Bruin blue. It's a good pop. The Cadets stay through. Final 22 seconds from Yankee Stadium in what will be the 9th consecutive win for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. In emphatic fashion. That one a little pooch up, bounces, and loose, covered up. Army nearly got a gift at the end of this game, but Aeneas Williams will get on top of it with 19 seconds remaining. Jeff Monken go back to the drawing board after their bye week last week. Got a little healthier. Everybody said it came at the right time after a couple physical games, especially against Air Force without Bryson Daly at quarterback. Consider the numbers he put up tonight with 145 rushing yards and 2 more touchdowns. He's done all of that despite missing the one game, as Angeli will come out, likely take this final knee for the Irish.
A dominant performance by Notre Dame, a team that is playing their best football here as we move towards the final week of November.
Angeli puts the knee down, and that'll end it. A dominant effort once again in the Shamrock Series. Notre Dame wins 49-14, their 9th consecutive win to improve to 10-1. The undefeated dream comes to a close for Army as we send it down to KT.
Coach, you were very intentional with your message to your team in this game, both before the game and during it. How would you say they executed that message tonight?
They did a really good job. I'm proud of them. They competed the entire game. You know, we're so greedy. But as you look back, I think it was 49-14 over a really good opponent, man. I'm so proud of the way they prepared and then came out here to perform the right way.
You had a chance to take off your headsets a bit early there and make your way down the sideline, saying congratulations to some of your coaching staff and your players. What was the message you wanted to send to them?
you know, this thing doesn't happen with one person. This whole program, the coaching staff, the players, they commit to doing whatever it takes to helping this team achieve team glory, and that's what we did today. And it's a selfless coaching staff, a selfless football program, and I'm dang proud to be a part of it.
You had a dominating effort here in this victory. You've got one more game to go next week at USC and a chance to play in the college football playoff. How do you carry this momentum into next week's game?
You know, we got a saying, one game, one life. We're going to celebrate this thing tonight, fly back home, get it corrected, and then we get ready for the next opponent. I told the team before the game, every game we've played since Northern Illinois has been a playoff game. This is no different. So we just got to continue to prepare the right way and let the rest take care of itself.
Coach, thanks so much for your time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Spot on. One game, one life, and that life's going to be a joyful one tonight. Coming up next, after these messages for your local stations, it's the historic rivalry between USC and UCLA right here on NBC and Peacock. For Catherine Tappan, Todd Blackledge, Terry McCauley, our entire crew, I'm Noah Eagle saying so long from the Bronx with a dominant Notre Dame win.